Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to Movie Mornings. I am your host, Dom Martino, and today we have kind of a special episode. No, it's not the Good Doctor episode, Jose. It's the one where we are talking about Cinemacon. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait. There's a lot of news going on there. We're going to do our Moon Knight spoiler talk, catch up from last week. As per usual, we will get into all of that. And I want to thank everybody for being here today. But before we get started, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications. As always, we have the man with the gram, the Instagram, that is, it's Mr. Jose Espinel. Jose, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to get into the news that we have in store for you guys, and ready to talk Moon Knight as well at the end.
Yeah, man, a lot of stuff coming out of Cinemacon that I'm interested to get your guys' reactions to. I'm sure some of it you've heard already, and then there's going to be a lot of other things that maybe you haven't heard. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very excited for you guys to hear this stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we also have Mr. David Tresh sitting with us today. David, how you doing?
I am doing excellent. I proposed yesterday. I'm engaged to be married now, so I'm excellent.
Congratulations.
This is exciting. I cannot wait for this news. Dom has hidden specific news from us. We'll be live reacting to some of the Cinemacon insider stories here, so I'm really excited for that. I don't even know what's going on for once, and I'm the news guy.
And no, I am not in Las Vegas right now, everybody, at Cinemacon, but I do know people that are, and I've heard things from them about this, so very excited to share some of the things that I've heard that maybe you guys aren't privy to yet. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Before we get started, people were wondering what the hell was going on last week, because we aired an episode where we weren't talking about the latest episode of Moon Knight. We kind of did a pre-record because I was in Ohio, so that was what was going on last week. And Ohio was a lot of fun, though, let me tell you, because I went to my sister's wedding and it was awesome. I really had a great time. Jose, I feel like you're going to be like the wedding guy in this group for some reason. Like you're the one that like loves weddings. So I'm just going to put the screen on us.
I was gonna say, you know, what's funny is that the only wedding I've been to was my aunt, my mom's sister is the only wedding I've been to. I was supposed to go to one. Well, yeah, that's the only one that I've ever been to. I was supposed to go to one last year, but I didn't have the money to go. One of my best friends got married, but I couldn't go because I had the money. But I did just get invited to a wedding in June 18th, so that should be fun.
I feel like I'm going to weddings all the time. It's
oh no, yeah. I mean, when I joined this channel,
when you joined, I had one. I think I went to Florida like right around the time you joined, exactly, and then I'm back in Ohio again for my sisters, which was great. Between the two, I would have to say this one was my favorite, and that's nothing against my cousin and her lovely husband, who were both at this one, and it was great to hang out with them. And I had a good time at the hotel as well. Like we stayed at a hotel, the whole family did, partied hard there as well, so that was a lot of fun.
I could imagine.
It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun, and I feel like trying new beers has always been a hobby of mine. And I tried one called Bumbleberry.
That sounds...
Bumbleberry Ale. Have you heard of this?
No.
Dave, you're a beer guy, right?
No, I am actually known for hating beers, but I do like alcohol, and I try a lot of alcohol that's usually non-beer related.
Yeah, no, this is actually a beer called Bumbleberry.
I'm actually a beer guy. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you like beer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I drink. No, I'm just kidding. It's not all I drink, but...
Yeah, but would you try something like a Bumbleberry, like a Bumbleberry Ale? It's an ale.
So here's the question: is what flavor is it?
It's blueberry ale.
See, I'm not, but like I tried a cherry beer in Russia, and it was absolutely disgusting. It was one of the worst beers I've probably ever had in my life.
I like the blueberry.
I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not opposed to trying new flavors of beers, especially ones that are like fruity.
So I'd give that a shot because I drink ciders.
Honestly,
that's my favorite type of drink is stuff with a bit of fruit. I mean, I think most beer, the reason I don't like it and why Yingling is my favorite beer is because it has a very good balance of like that beer taste with a little bit of fragrance almost in the aftertaste. So I would definitely try that because that's what I drink. I drink ciders and whatnot. So blueberry beer, I'd definitely have to give a shot to. Yeah,
I mean, for me, I like IPAs and stuff though. And this is like made by Fathead, which is like, it's very hoppy. Fathead. It's very hoppy. So I'm not sure that this is going to be something for everybody, but I'm going to stop talking about it before they think we're begging for sponsorship, which we're not. I like the beer, but not that much.
If they give us free beer, I'm done with that.
I was about to say, but if they give us free beer, yeah, honestly, like
you know what? Yeah, let's keep talking. I was kidding. No, because that free beer would always be nice.
Why do you think I drink Michelob Ultras so much on the shows? Because I'm trying to get that damn sponsorship from Michelob, man.
Is that what it is? Because you're sponsored by like a bunch of energy drinks right now.
Well, no, I'm sponsored by a energy drink.
Energy drink.
Fit Aid.
I feel like it was a little different one last time. Though.
Well, yeah. So the one on my, are you talking about the one that was on my Instagram?
I'm letting you plug, dude. Go ahead.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah. So I did an Instagram.
I saw you did a live. I did Instagram live, and then
it was Fit Aid, and they sent me a small box of a powder and a can. And there were two different kinds. The can was for to boost energy, and then the powder was like calming. And so this one is more for like hydration and recovery. It's a citrus flavored. I got a pack of 30 powder. And so now that I'm sponsored by them, I get a pack of these different flavors each month. So
it vibrates too. Did you guys hear that? Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on today, so I do want to get to some of it. Dave, before we get into Cinemacon, you've been watching like a ton of movies, and I did want to let you talk about what you think is great right now. You've spent like the majority of 2022 in the theater.
My life. Yeah. Yes. My life is, well, when I proposed to my girlfriend the other day of 5 years, she said yes under the contingency that I stopped spending so much damn time in the movie theater. So she didn't actually say that, but
well, I don't know if there's anything we could do about that. That's just comes with the package. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I said you could come with me, and she said definitely not. But yeah, there's been some amazing movies out. I've basically seen all of them, except for Morbius. You guys all know that sucks. So I'm not going to waste my time.
I don't know that it sucks. I haven't seen it. I thought it looked good, but I didn't see it.
Well, you and Jared Leto are alone on that one.
I hear he's not the reason, in all honesty, though. Most people have said he's not actually the reason it sucks. It's just a bad movie. It's just, which I don't know. I haven't seen it again, but go ahead.
Most of the critic reviews I've heard on that one is that it's the Venom effect. It's a movie that should really be rated R and sacrifices a lot because it's not.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I'll definitely see it, but based on how much money I've spent at Cinemark right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a minute to not watch it until it's out on streaming for that one. But what I thought
you got in for free, or am I not supposed to talk about that?
Oh yeah, I get into free most of the time, but some of the time I gotta buy the tickets, and I also got the movie club, so I get free tickets there. But I'm still spending a lot of money on food and drink. Yeah, I know my life is so awful. I only get into half the movies for free. It's really a shame. Sometimes David has to pay money. This is an evil world we live in. That's how awful. But yeah, I got some scores here now. A quick reveal of my scoring system here, so you guys kind of understand. 4 movies. I try to look at the best aspects of the movies, acting, the themes, the plot, the things that really matter, and I do a kind of point system. Sometimes the scale breaks 10. That's usually what I call a legendary movie. Usually it stays under 95% of the time. And I do this within like a 1 to 2 points for things like themes, plots, acting, certain performances, and I don't let a scene usually go over like 0.5 points because that shouldn't have too much sway on a movie unless it really affects the plot itself. And I do this because it ends up being really fair for movies I like and don't like, because then I'm pretty much objectively judging the movie. The first one I'd like to start with that I saw a little while back here was Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal. This movie was absolutely great. It was an 8.5 for me. A very well earned 8.5. This is a very graphic movie, believe it or not just in terms of explosions, but this movie had a good amount of gore in it. There was a decent amount of blood in this movie I did not expect, and the plot, given it's a Michael Bay.
It's an R production, though, right? It's a Michael Bay R-rated movie. Like it's.
I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it is a pretty heavy R. Like I said, a lot of gore. One of the opening scenes of this starts with a little girl who's got a fence post through her, and you see quite a bit of it, and it's pretty horrific. So it's one of the things I really gave the movie, was that like the whole movie really captures in its drama and in its score like real human suffering, to the point where I almost didn't want to look a lot of times at the screen. as well as the fact that this movie has obviously amazing stunts. Everyone saw that from the trailer, but I mean, I cannot believe what budget they must have spent on just destroying cop cars in this movie. I mean, it is really that ridiculous. In fact, one of the small points I took away from it is that 3/4 of the way through the movie, like pretty late, they started to animate a few of the crashes. And I have to imagine that's just because of the budget they spent absolutely demolishing hundreds of cop cars.
But were the visual effects shit? Because according to Michael Bay, the visual effects are shit in this movie, and he directed it.
They did not hold up. I don't think the visual effects would have been that bad if it was in a movie not filled with real car chases and crashes prior to that. But yes, it did put quite a damper when they did come in. But again, it was really like 3/4 of the movie. It was a couple of short scenes. Yeah, at least he was honest about it. It was a couple of short scenes that they ended up animating. I think what really puts a damper on it again is that you start off this movie with so much footage of real crashes, stunts, accidents. I mean, like I said, I think they may have gone through 100 cop cars in this movie.
I think that's so strange for Michael Bay to like transition to something where he uses a lot of practical action, but I commend it regardless.
So I just looked it up. The budget for this movie is actually surprisingly. I thought it was gonna be a lot higher than what it was. It was actually only 40 million.
Yeah, it's low. It's his lowest budget movie probably since The Rock.
I looked up its box office, and it's god awful. Honestly, he's in the negatives right now for this movie.
Boy.
So
yeah, which stinks because, like I said, box office doesn't always translate whether or not a movie's good or not. But that's what kind of stinks, is that he definitely deserves the money on this one. I gave 2 points for the drama within the plot of this movie. I mean, it really gets deep by the end of it. A point for gore, a point for the acting. Jake Gyllenhaal is like top tier Jake Gyllenhaal, like he usually is. He's absolutely amazing in this movie. His co-star that I was looking at the name of. I know, really.
In the world, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, one of the other movies that I got here was Prisoners that I watched here recently. And
that's an old
even that one was just
goodie,
a stellar performance. Yeah, he's not even in it a lot. I mean, it really focuses on Hugh Jackman, Paul Dano, and he's still absolutely excellent in this movie. But yeah, that's some of the good things. The real stunts were so amazing. I gave it a 2 point. I gave a 2 point for the plan B of this movie. There's a certain point of which they're really trapped against a corner, and I thought this was where the movie was going to go down a dark hole and get really bad. And their plan B for this movie actually elevates the hell out of the plot and is so much deeper and cooler than I thought, and led to even better action scenes in this movie. And then I gave 1 point for the character chemistry. I mean, all the actors on screen had amazing chemistry in this movie within the ambulance. And there was a huge surprise at the end. The conclusion of this movie was such a surprise to me that I gave that a whole point, which I rarely ever do. The conclusion of this movie really caught me off guard and was really intense.
Jose, that's one I encourage you to watch because you're a Denis fan now, as of late. Denis Villeneuve, Prisoners.
Oh, Prisoner. Oh, okay.
Talking about. Yeah, because that was not his first movie, but one of the earlier ones. That was.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Denis Villeneuve fan, so I'll definitely give that a look.
Really helped put him on the radar for sure. Yeah, definitely check that one out. But it's really good.
Oh, perfect. It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, watch it. I encourage you. I think Dave would probably agree with me on that.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So what else did you watch? Or you watched some other like newer stuff though?
Yeah, I watched some other stuff. I one that I'll mention right now because I didn't give it a score yet because I watched this movie immediately after proposing to my girlfriend. So I really just went there to enjoy the movie and didn't try to grade it. Usually I take notes while I'm watching here and there in between dead scenes and during transitions while kind of watching out of the corner of my eye. And that is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I just straight up watched this movie and enjoyed it given my excitement. This movie was absolutely freaking hilarious. This is a must go. Get your ass to the theaters and watch this immediately. It was absolutely hilarious. The best thing Nicolas Cage has done since Willy's Wonderland. Of course, that is the greatest movie of all time, Willy's Wonderland. This is second to that. Pedro Pascal's and Nicolas Cage's chemistry in this is actually ridiculous. I mean, you see it in the trailer, but it just evolves so much in the movie. This movie had a great amount of action. And again, I don't think I've laughed this much out loud in a theater. I'm someone who doesn't laugh out loud during comedies that I really enjoy. Like Tommy Boy is one of my favorite comedies. I just laugh inside. This movie, I probably laughed out loud like upwards of 35 times. This movie is absolutely hilarious. And without giving away any scenes, I will just say that anyone that's going to be watching, the acid trip scene of this movie is probably the greatest 5 minutes of comedy I've ever seen in my life. It is absolutely stunning.
Cage
And yeah,
is
this movie has great plot too.
really coming
carried.
back, man. I mean, Cage between well, for me it was Mandy that brought him back.
Not that he went anywhere in the first place.
He didn't go anywhere, but
he's back. Not that he went anywhere in the first. That's one of the lines for the movies. Everyone that has
fair
watched
enough.
that
I
movie
could. That's
can
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. First of all, but his movies were kind of going downhill, at least in my opinion. And Mandy was what really brought it back for me. I love that movie. Thought he was just so phenomenal and more phenomenal than I'd really ever seen him at that point. And then it was like when I saw Pig, I was
my gosh, that's what brought me back with for Nicolas Cage was watching Pig. Like, oh my gosh, Nicolas Cage. I just want to see one of my favorite performances from him.
And a lot of people talk about Color Out of Space as well. And what's the other movie that he did? The Willy's Wonderland. You were just talking about it. That took me a minute.
Yeah,
that took me a minute too long.
Have you guys seen Willy's yet?
No, I need to watch Willy's Wonderland.
I have not. No.
I am interested.
You guys really have to watch Willy's. I mean, Willy's is extraordinarily underrated. And Nicolas Cage, again, it's another limited film. That Nicolas Cage does not say a word the whole movie, yet he says more than you could ever imagine. And it has the greatest finale to that movie over any other performance of his that I've seen. It's just so epic. You guys have to watch that tonight. Must go.
I'm sure it's great. I'll check it out ASAP, I promise. And I will actually come on the show, tell you how I liked it when I do see it. And I will watch it ASAP. As soon as I get some free time on my hands, I will definitely check it out for sure.
Good man, Dom.
Now, one that we could talk about. It's okay. One that we could do. One that we could do together is Fantastic Beasts, though.
Yes, we can.
Even though I already got a review out on the channel, check it out. We could just kind of have a basic non-spoiler discussion about it right now, I guess. And yeah, what'd you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie a lot. I've been a fan of Fantastic Beasts now. I think the first is still by far the best.
Me too.
I don't think this was as bad as number 2.
No.
I think it was better than that. I think it was a much more entertaining movie.
Vastly improved, yeah.
I still think it doesn't compare to measure, like get even close to comparing to the first one, but it's a very entertaining movie. This one for me got a 6.5 on my rating. There's a decent amount of good things going for it. It's not that there was a lot of bad stuff in this movie. There were some small disappointments here and there and things that I thought would happen that kind of stumped in front of me. Didn't actually come to fruition, but overall, it just wasn't enough going on for me in the movie to give it like a higher score. I gave a point for the acting nonetheless. The acting all around was great. Very good. Especially as we just talked about, despite the controversy, Ezra Miller did absolutely really excellent in this. Movie, it was his best yet. And Newt Scamander absolutely at his best, which was one of the disappointments for me, was that it wasn't a more Newt focused film overall, because he's just so good at his character now. I'd like to see him return to Newt.
I still felt like by the end, though, that they were still telling Newt's story the way that they wrapped this one, if that makes sense, without giving it away. Like, it indicates to you that we're still telling Newt's story. It's still, the Fantastic Beasts franchise is still Newt's story, even though we kind of stepped away from him for a little while. In this movie, we're still with this third act. The finale of the third act tells you that we're still telling Newt's story.
We're still on Newt's story. I wish there was some more. I do like that one of the major plot points is on a Fantastic Beast. So that was always nice. A good part of the movie that I thought they incorporated in.
Yes.
But yes, I do.
I was glad they brought that back.
They have, to be fair, really incorporated the new characters in here. I do think that they did do a pretty good balance on this being the Secrets of Dumbledore, but not over focusing on him and letting him overshadow everybody. And the performances in this, like I said, were great. I gave 2 points for the action sequences in this film. The action in this was pretty darn good, and
it's
especially
amazing.
I gave it a separate point for some of the creative plans and escapes in this movie. Some of the plans, escapes from dangerous situations in this movie are so creative. It's really awesome.
Yes.
And including, dare we say, in the third act there in the finale when they all got the briefcases. I mean, that was slick. That really got me by surprise there.
That's really where it picks up for me too, is that third act when they do all have the briefcases, and we won't go into too much detail, but I don't think people realize what we mean when, or at least for myself, you probably agree. You really haven't seen action like this in a Harry Potter movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's something new to the way the action is filmed in this.
This starts very dark too. I mean, it
people.
starts with some dark action. The very beginning of this film, I was not ready for. That's another point that I gave it actually, is that the chillas in this movie are the most. I was like in tears, dude. I didn't think from such a, no offense, it's a good CGI, it's a good animation and whatnot, but from,
I know where you're at with it. Yeah,
it's just way more emotional than I thought. I don't cry. I was almost coming to tears to the point where I was like, it was a bit tough.
It is. I understand what you're saying, but it's hard to talk about without spoiling, obviously. But
yeah, that's what we'll leave.
Mads Mikkelsen is somebody I wanted to give credit to as well, because I didn't love The Crimes of Grindelwald. Obviously, I didn't think it was very good at all, but I thought Johnny Depp was a very good Grindelwald. I had no problems with his performance as Grindelwald in The Crimes of Grindelwald. And I know Mads Mikkelsen's a talented actor, but I still felt like, for my personal opinion, Mads had some big shoes to fill for me. So seeing Mads Mikkelsen step in, and personally, I thought he fit a little bit better, because when I'm picturing who's going to have the better chemistry with Jude Law, for obvious reasons, who can I picture in that situation with Jude Law's rendition of Dumbledore more? It's definitely the Mads Mikkelsen rendition. It makes more sense when you look at the Mads Mikkelsen rendition. That's not a slight at Johnny's performance. Johnny was great. But Mads Mikkelsen's performance here just fit a little bit better. It's not that one performance was better than the other. It's just that one performance fit better than the other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying with that. And I agree with you. And I really love Johnny Depp as Grindelwald.
Yeah.
I think one of the sins of it too, where I want to be fair to anybody else, against Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, is I also like to explain to people, like, with all the crazy roles that Johnny Depp has played in makeup and costumes, do you really think it was his choice to be that crazy looking and acting of a Grindelwald? Or do you think the studio's making him do it at this point because they're like, hey, we saw you in Alice in Wonderland, and that's what we're doing to you right now in this movie?
I think it's a bit of a mixture of both. I think that the studio probably wants that from Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp's terms of agreement on that is, that's fine, but I get to have input on how it all looks.
Yeah, which is where he brings together that crazy Grindelwald for me, is that he puts a spin on it that nobody, if you put anyone else in that makeup and costume, they're not pulling off.
And Mads did some slight prosthetic work, I noticed. I mean, there was some stuff going on with the eyes. They didn't want it to be so far away that it wasn't believable. But on the same hand, he is much more classy. And I did like that he put his own spin on it. I thought that was respectful to Johnny Depp to not try to do the same thing he did. I thought that was the most respectful approach for Mads Mikkelsen. And Mads Mikkelsen is just better kind of playing a little bit more suave than Johnny did. Johnny was scary. Johnny went for scary. Mads Mikkelsen went for suave, but also kind of scary in the sense that he'll really do anything to anybody. He's an evil motherfucker. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the respect of that. He was like, I'm going to give my performance, but I'm not going to copy Johnny. I thought that was respectful. It's his own take, and probably the best way to go about it as an actor. Just makes him look better.
Yeah, in terms of my points, by the way, I just want to say there's a few points I obviously can't mention because I don't want to spoil it for anyone out there. So all I will say about it is if you watch the Harry Potter franchise and you see, when you start to understand who Dumbledore is in the Harry Potter franchise, and it leaves you with a lot of questions, watch this movie. It was excellent for that, and that's where a lot of the points come in, both positive and some negative. Mainly positive though. If you watch the Harry Potter franchise and you really enjoyed the, like, oh shoot, Dumbledore is not all that we thought him to be, you get answers in this movie, go watch it.
Yes, I thought that same exact thing. This is really starting to bring it all together. And one of the things I'll say without spoiling the ending exactly that I really liked, I think I kind of left this out of the non-spoiler review, but it's something that I really commended. about this movie is the way it ends is in such a way that if they want to continue, okay. If they don't want to, okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Either way works. Any way that they want to do it. They got very lucky, I would say, as well, with where they ended up with the Ezra Miller storyline.
Yeah.
As well. That was luck.
Went smooth. That was thank God.
So very lucky on that front. I would say that much. I don't know if there was anything done in post to make it that way, because there could have been.
Yeah.
Honestly, there could have been. The more I think about the actions that transpired,
lines and who says them on screen,
it's possible.
That's definitely something that could have been tampered
but
with.
Maybe that was honestly the story they had in mind. I could have seen that either way, because if it was,
either way it works, which is good, because that means we don't notice it as the audience, which is what we want for the universe as fans. Is we don't want to be like, oh, they're retconning this on screen
absolutely
right now.
Absolutely.
That's the last thing you want.
Absolutely.
And dare I say would you consider it a spoiler for me to mention the nostalgia in this movie?
Like things that are specifically nostalgic? Or just to say that there is nostalgia? Go ahead. I mean, it's been out for a week. I mean, don't spoil the movie, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, you give a slight tease, sure.
The revisit of Hogwarts is excellent.
Oh, that's in the trailer, so we all know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the trailer, so
that's in the trailer.
I mean, I glanced at it, but okay, good. The revisit to Hogwarts comes at a time where like it prolongs it through the movie, and it comes at a part where it kind of really helps the film like keep carrying it at that point. So it's one thing that I actually gave it a 0.5 point for.
Yeah.
Was just it caught me off guard when I saw Hogwarts. It was like, oh shit, we're back here. This is great. Slytherin being Slytherin, you know what it is.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, guys, that's Fantastic Beasts. And look at Jose. He looks like a man that wants to go to Vegas right now. And I can't take you there, Jose, unfortunately, but I can tell you what's happening in Vegas. And so that's going to be a lot of fun here, hopefully, because I got some really good insight, I think, on Cinemacon. So let's just get right into it. Day one, Sony presentation. And what we ended up with in the Sony presentation is Bullet Train. I think that was the first big thing to kind of pop. They didn't show the movie, but they did show the first 15 minutes.
Oh, shoot.
So what I've heard about the first 15 minutes is that Bullet Train is incredible. Just based on the first 15 minutes. It's very fast-paced. It's very fun. Everybody who's seen it seems to be sold on it now, who saw the first 15 minutes, like 100%. And the things I was hearing definitely got me excited about it. So I don't know what you guys were expecting from this movie, but for me, Bullet Train, I wanted a fast-paced action movie, just really kind of quick cutty. They're saying it's kind of like a Guy Ritchie movie. It's not a Guy Ritchie movie. It's David Leitch, obviously, but a lot of people are comparing this to a Guy Ritchie movie.
Wow. Like
The Gentleman or Snatch or something along those lines. So I don't know. You guys looking forward to Bullet Train, or what do you think of this? And does this give you hope? Or
I mean, I've been looking forward to it ever since we brought it up on trailers. I've been, you guys were a little bit judgmental.
No. You heard my explanation about that though, because I watched a different trailer than you guys on accident. But
you did. You saw a different trailer than us, but I've been pretty excited. I thought the trailer showed us a good amount of action and decent little bit of comedy in there, and a good portrayal of Brad Pitt's character there. So I was pretty excited for it, but now that I hear that the opening 15 minutes is pretty fast paced and everyone's really enjoying it, I'm especially excited. Every time I rewatch the trailer, I feel like I'm even more excited for the film. I kind of think a little bit more about it and be like, what's the explanation behind this? How is that going to play out on screen? That seems like a pretty big plot point, actually.
Well, Jose, like the Cinemacon is kind of made to where they're trying to sell these movies to the theater owners. So after 15 minutes, it can completely suck. 100%. I mean, this is a showcase of we're going to make you guys money, or trying to instill confidence in these theater owners that they're going to make them money. But does any of this description for the first 15 minutes get you any more pumped for this?
I mean, with a movie title, Bullet Train, you would expect this movie, at least maybe, I mean, they say the first 15 minutes is very fast paced. You would expect it with a movie title like Bullet Train. I mean, I'm really excited for Brad Pitt's character. Honestly, the trailer really pumped me up for that. I'm really interested to see what Bad Bunny brings. You know, having
Bad Bunny.
a Latino artist in a movie is always, you know, interesting to see. You're seeing it more and more now. But it's cool to see, you know,
Absolutely.
these Latino artists, you know, play roles in movies. And I think the Bad Bunny will fit this movie very well because he's just a very out there person. Like, he speaks his mind. He just does what he wants. He doesn't care what other people think. So, and I feel like this movie is very much, you know, that kind of movie. So I think he's gonna fit in this movie very well. And I can't wait to see what him and, you know, all the other actors and actresses in this movie, what they bring to the table. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a very funny but also very action packed movie. Honestly.
Absolutely. And to speak a little bit more of that, I mean, people said that the stuff they did see with Bad Bunny is actually pretty good.
Oh,
and
I'm
they
glad
said
to
that
hear
the
that,
first
honestly.
15 minutes of the movie actually gave you a sense for all the characters and all the actors'
Well, that's good.
performances that are going to be in it, which is actually very cool. And,
That
you
is
know,
very cool.
one of the things that they did not shy away from talking about is Aaron Taylor Johnson, who people are saying his performance really stood out to them in this. He's going to be one of the standouts of anything. So that really excites me, and I'm just excited to see Brad Pitt kind of get his own John Wick situation going on here, or nobody situation going on.
Oh yeah.
So that's something to me that just it screams fun. The descriptions I've heard just scream fun to me. It's fun action flick, and I'm looking forward to it as well a lot more now, especially. So
Same, yeah.
can't wait. I think it's going to be a good time. The other thing that everybody got to see was the Wonka trailer. Now, we've been looking forward to hearing about Timothée Chalamet as Willy Wonka. So from everything I've heard, there have been some lukewarm reviews on the trailer, but for the most part, positive. And even the lukewarm reviews have said that Timothée Chalamet is definitely embodying more of a young Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder, yeah.
And that's cool to me. I like that they're playing into that. I think that that's just kind of what's hot and popping, is going with the original movies and trying to make something based on that.
And yeah, and I was gonna say, and you know, if anything, I feel like Timothée Chalamet would be able to pull off, you know, a younger Gene Wilder.
Of course
than,
he could.
You know, more of the Johnny Depp,
Mhm.
Charlie Willy Wonka role. So I'm glad that, you know, that they decided to go, you know, with the younger Gene Wilder. I'm actually really excited for this movie, and I can't wait to see what Timothy brings as Willy Wonka.
Me too, especially after hearing the people who were more positive on this trailer talk about the trailer. I'm definitely a lot more excited. It sounds like it's got a lot of heart. It sounds like it's trying to capture the feel of what that original movie did. And that excites me a lot. I think that there's not enough movies like that original Willy Wonka. I think that there's been a couple times after that, maybe that same charm has been captured, but it doesn't quite happen a lot. And so if they could pull that off, it's going to be a big win. If they could pull off the heart of that original movie, it's going to be a massive win, and also make something that's very much seemingly connected to that. I think that that's going to be a huge win. Nostalgia is just super hot right now. We can't deny it.
Oh yeah.
Dave, does Wonka intrigue you? Was this a project you were looking forward to? And does this news about Wonka excite you anymore?
Yeah, actually, I used to live a few blocks away from Willy Wonka, so I live not too far from him.
Elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, please.
I don't know how else to say it,
You
Tom.
mean-
I used to live a few blocks away from Willy Wonka.
From the fictional character.
Or you mean the factory?
Willy Wonka. Okay, the actual explanation, now that I'm done joking,
Okay.
which is serious in a way, is that the owner of when they actually have the factory for Willy Wonka, because they make the actual chocolate bars, the owner of the factory that makes the Wonka bars in real life, like the ones that you could go buy, lived a few blocks away.
Wow.
He had a beautiful plot of
That's
land,
awesome.
a nice
Oh,
pool,
wow.
a really
That's
nice
awesome.
house. And so he was like literally 2 blocks away. And so growing
Sweet.
up, it was really nice because I used to go buy the Wonka bars, enjoy the movies.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm a big Wonka fan. I love the original Willy Wonka. I love Johnny Depp's iteration. I love the sequel Snowpiercer to the original Willy Wonka. I love Snowpiercer, the sequel to it. So I mean, I really love Willy Wonka. I'm excited for more Willy Wonka content, and I just can't wait to see what they're going to try to bring back of the original, what they're going to do new in this, and what they're really going for here. So I'm totally in the dark on what it's out to be, other than Mr. Chalamet, but I am excited for it, to say the least.
For sure, man. For sure. I think that this is going to be a really, really good project. I know it's being directed by the writer of Paddington, I think. So that instills a little bit more confidence, I guess. I know Paddington is really high regarded. I mean, so
Paddington, bro, what the fuck?
it is. I'm not kidding. People
Bro,
love
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Paddington.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. My sister
I'm
enjoyed that
losing
movie,
it.
so
No, yeah, people love Paddington. I mean, you go look at.
Okay, that's
It's like
you
bro,
guys.
it's a British it's a British Winnie the Pooh minus no
Dude,
honey.
You
No,
have the reason I'm laughing so hard is again anyone that has seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I know about the scene.
Oh
know
my
about the
god,
scene.
that was probably the hardest
I
laugh in the
heard
movie.
about the
So
scene, and that's so funny.
to hear
Yeah.
it the day after is like, oh my god, not Paddington again.
I've heard the description of that scene in the movie. I know exactly what you're referring to.
It's my
And
favorite scene
Just
in
hearing the
entire
description made me laugh the way it went down. So, yeah,
Oh my god.
I think they made that scene public actually. So I
yeah,
haven't
get out
actually
there and watch
watched
that
it,
scene,
but
everybody. Watch
I
the
think
whole
that
movie.
scene
It's-
in particular is public. I think that's one of the ones they're using to market it. So I know what you're talking about.
yeah, that's
Anyway,
amazing.
but moving on a little bit, and this is going to make Jose very happy. So I was excited to talk about this. Sony came out and said, "We got
I think I know what you're about to say.
we
but
got
go
a
ahead.
new Marvel project
Oh,
Power
in
Rangers.
our Spider-Verse." That's 100% Marvel, 100% Marvel, and of course Sony owns that. So, yeah, all right, yeah, shit. Okay, so
Killed Jose.
he wasn't expecting it. I don't think.
He was not ready for that.
No, he
oh
wasn't.
my gosh, Dave.
All right,
oh
so-
my gosh, you're something else.
So
Oh my god.
so
all right, Marvel.
Composure,
Go ahead,
composure.
continue. What about?
Sony came out.
All right, David Yost is playing who now? This is.
I wish it was him, but no, we'll talk about that. Okay. So they came out and said we got another Marvel project to add to our shitty ones that we've been making lately, and they didn't say it like that, but yeah. So
That's the truth.
this is this is why it's going to excite Jose. It's a Latino character that they're going to be doing, and it's the name of it's La Muerto, and I don't think they showed any footage. I don't think they have anything.
Okay, yeah. So it's called The Death. That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah,
sounds interesting.
I think it's one of their lesser known characters, so it's cool that they're going to bring it to light. And they said they were showing these paintings and all this kind of stuff, like sketch art of it, and showing like the concept art, I guess is a better way to put it. And saying that this character is like a wrestler turned hero. So there's a lot of interesting things happening in here. Well, they actually casted La Muerto. Did I do that right, Jose?
Yeah, La Muerte. Yeah,
La
you did that,
Muerto. Yeah, so they've actually casted La Muerto, and they said we're gonna pull him out right now, and it's Bad Bunny. So there you go.
Oh,
Bad
Jose, so psyched.
So Bad
That's on
Bunny
for
is
Jack
gonna be
Black
playing
still.
La Muerto in this La Muerto film, and yeah, the concept sounds cool. I don't think they even have a director attached to it, but hey, it's cool that they're doing it, and the more power to Latinos.
That's awesome.
I'm happy about it. So
Look, man, look, first Bullet Train, and now this. Like, this is just it's looking over for Bad Bunny right now. Oh, and honestly, I'm not surprised.
Has
to
he
see-
acted?
No, and that's the thing is like
Oh wow.
the thing is just because he's just such a big.
deal, I think he was trying to say before you froze. Did I lose
US?
them? Oh, go ahead.
Wait, was I gone for a second there?
Just 1 second. You're back though.
Oh no, yeah. So he's such a big name, like here in the Spanish-speaking cities in the U.S. too. That he's been in WWE and like other big stuff like that. That the fact
That's
that
sweet.
he's got such a big name that he can be in movies now, and I really hope that he can actually make a name for himself in movies. That he can just keep going and just bring more pride to to Latinos.
Yeah, I mean, 2 major roles right out the gate. That's like
Exactly.
Lady Gaga level impressive, dude. That's excellent for him. I don't know anything about him, but now I'm gonna look into him. And
Look, his
congrats
concert.
to him, man. That's
His
awesome.
concert like broke Ticketmaster, the website.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how like big he is. Well, like, I'm telling you, he's a big name.
Sony's betting a lot of money on this fucking guy, so I hope he delivers.
Well,
and
no,
I
they're
hope
putting the money in the. I hope that. I mean, he's a big name.
Sounds like he better not suck.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know. Obviously, because he's never acted. Well, he actually has acted. I lied. He was in the newest Narcos. He was in the newest Narcos.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how well he did in that. I haven't seen it. I've heard from some people that he was good, and from other people he wasn't that good. So I it might have been the role. I don't know. I just hope that he does a better job in these two movies, so that he can just keep
me too, man.
Keep building himself and just keep showing himself in future projects.
Me too, man. It's a lot of money they're betting on him, and yeah, I hope it turns out good and all goes well. Jose, or not Jose, we just heard you, David. I mean, any second thoughts on this?
Yeah, again, I'm just disappointed it's not Jack Black again.
Yeah.
It should just be Nacho Libre too. Let's get honest.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to see Bad Bunny now and see what this is gonna be like, man.
For sure.
Sounds interesting. Sounds something new.
I do like the wrestling based thing. Like, I think that could be interesting. That's interesting for a plot.
Yeah. So I feel like,
because he was a wrestler too, real life, Bad Bunny, right? So he has some experience from what I understand.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously he trained a lot for WWE, which is wrestling. So yeah, he knows how to do that.
Yeah, so that bodes well.
So that's what I feel like. That's why they're putting faith and money into Bad Bunny specifically for this role, because he knows how to wrestle, and not only that, this is a Latino. It's a character whose name is in Spanish, so who better to play this character than Bad Bunny?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the presentation did continue with, or actually, I think almost concluded. This was toward the end of the presentation, from what I understand, that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, directors of Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street, and we're going to do this Han Solo movie till they got fired from that, and produced Into the Spider-Verse, not directed, but produced it, and are going to produce the sequels. They came out on stage and said, to my knowledge, that they basically said, this movie's pretty much not done yet. We're working on it. We're working pretty tirelessly at it, because it did get pushed till next year, I believe. So that stinks. But they were talking about how they were working tirelessly on Across the Spider-Verse. They couldn't wait to roll it out. And then they continued on by saying, we're just going to show you guys the first 15 minutes of the movie. And so they showed Cinemacon the first 15 minutes of Across the Spider-Verse, and the reactions have been nothing but insane. People have been saying that it just starts off pretty well action-packed. It looks like it's going to be an incredible movie. Into the Spider-Verse, for me, is personally in the top 3 best Spider-Man movies, so there you are. I can't wait for this movie. The descriptions of it definitely sounded amazing to me. But the first 15 minutes of the movie, and people are giving it a good reaction. Again, we're kind of going back to the bullet train thing where it could suck after that, but I put a lot of faith in this. So I don't know about you guys. Jose, where are you at? Where are you at with this?
For what?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I honestly enjoyed the first one so much that I can't wait. From that little teaser trailer we got for this Across the Spider-Verse, excited me a lot for this for this sequel. I know obviously that Oscar Isaac's going to be in it because he voices Spider-Man.
Yes, and people said that he's in the first 15 minutes of the movie, so they've heard his voice already.
Oh, sick. Good, yeah. So that just excites me. That just excites me even more to know that he's in the first 15 minutes, because I really did enjoy his character in Into the Spider-Verse, and I can't wait to see what more he brings in this sequel, and just what the movie in general brings too. Honestly, I'm really excited for this movie because the first one was just so good.
Yeah, and Dave, I mean, people were saying this has a pretty high Gwen Stacy focus in there, and that's pretty cool to me, because I really liked what they did with Gwen Stacy. Haley Steinfeld's back voicing the character again.
Nice.
So that's awesome. How did you feel about the first Into the Spider-Verse, and if you liked it, can they top it?
I'd say same as you. It's a top 3 for me for sure. I don't know exactly where it lands, but it's top 3. This is one that excites me so much. I almost don't want to know the gory details.
Of course, I won't say anything.
I don't even want to see a trailer. I just want to go see it.
Yeah,
like right now. Like right now.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, it is kind of one where the Into the Spider-Verse was so good. I don't know how they're gonna top it.
Yeah, and.
That's without the gory details. That's one of the things I would say is I'd like to know the people that saw the first 15 minutes, how did it already hold up to Into the Spider-Verse, but that's
yeah.
I'm really stoked for this. Yeah, I can't wait. Is there any idea on release? Like any
2023.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just looked it up. I think it's like June 3rd of 2023. I believe
Cool.
is what I just looked up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the producers of the film, coming out and saying that they're working tirelessly to get this thing out there. Pretty cool. You know that they made a change to the title of the third movie. The third movie is not going to be Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 anymore. It's going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse. So they're
like
Spider-Verse ends.
Yeah. So yeah, sure, why not? I mean, yeah.
Honestly, I mean that's cool. It's like Into the Spider-Verse, then he goes Across the Spider-Verse, and now he'll be going beyond.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
It's the phases that he goes through within this Spider-Verse. You know what I mean? And I really like that. How the names of these titles is just really it's just like the phases of that he goes through in this within the Spider-Verse.
Definitely taking a page out of the success of the Homecoming trilogy, if you ask me, in that sense, because they're definitely trying to capitalize a little bit. But to me, I think that this movie's going to be great. I really do. 100%. The first 15 minutes unanimously positive, so I'm really happy about that. So there are some other details I know I will not say because I know you guys don't want to be spoiled, but just trust me when I say it's all very, very exciting. So,
good. You see, you're making me even more excited for this movie. Like
very, very cool. Yeah, you could probably find the information online for those of you who do want to know. It's probably out there somewhere. So there's that. So the presentation for Sony did conclude with a couple of other interesting things. They did a big sizzle reel of just things that they didn't really have a lot for, but just showed little snippets of footage for. And couple of those things that are big that we should definitely highlight. Well, one of them was Madam Web, which a lot of people are looking forward to. They showed a little snippet of that, very just like a few seconds from what I hear. And then the other thing was the first look at Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven the Hunter. They did show a few snippets of that as well. So that's very interesting. Damn it, I wish I was at Cinemacon. Blumhouse. Let's get to the Blumhouse presentation, which was very short to my knowledge so far. I think that they've only rolled out a screening of a movie, which I think they typically do at these Cinemacons. Blumhouse is very smart and actually bring in an entire film for people to watch. So that's very cool. And the film that they showed to people is Black Phone, Scott Derrickson's new film.
Oh, that looks so sick.
God.
That movie looks so sick.
That is my top anticipated movie of this year. I can't wait to go see that.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about this project to me is this is what Scott Derrickson walked away from Multiverse of Madness to direct. So I hope it delivers.
I was gonna say, like, seeing Ethan Hawke's performance so far in Moon Knight just makes me even more excited for his role in this movie. Honestly,
a top tier actor, and he's worked
100%.
He's worked with Scott Derrickson before on Sinister, which I loved his performance in Sinister so much, and I hope that he delivers again here.
Moon Knight is the first that I see of Ethan Hawke, and I'm honestly, I love his character, I love his acting, and I just can't wait to see what he brings to the table with this Black Phone movie, because I saw the trailer and. Oh my goodness, man! It was
one of the movies that I saw in theaters that we'll save for the next episode probably. But I saw The Northman, and Ethan Hawke has a very short-lived performance in that.
That's right.
Oh my God, his range in that movie was ridiculous. That movie broke my scale for the rating system. And Ethan Hawke, again, very short-lived performance with Willem Dafoe, but like I could see already from the trailer of Black Phone and from his performance in The Northman, like his emotional depth, just like how high and nearly psychotic he can go in his acting. So I am super excited.
He can go from that to like this like level
0 to 100 like
I was gonna say
nothing, dude.
This calmer, still kind of psychotic, Arthur Harrow in Moon Knight. Like his range is just
Arthur Harrow is nothing compared to the Northman. That's like
any role he's given, he can just perform it to his best, and he just honestly
he's keeping it like rated G for Marvel right now, dude. After seeing him in the Northman, again, very short lived, but after seeing him in the Northman, I was like, holy shit, like this is kind of crazy.
I think one of the things that most interests me about the Black Phone is because I've just followed Scott Derrickson since his first film, Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And for me, seeing him go from that into the first Doctor Strange when he directed that, I'm very interested in what techniques he picked up on from directing this major blockbuster like a Doctor Strange, now coming into the smaller scale horror film, he probably made it better. Now, reactions that I've heard, just letting you guys know, this movie is
good, is it?
supposedly fucking terrifying, and that excites me.
I thought you were gonna say it
very
sucks.
much excited.
Yeah, I thought
I thought you were gonna be like, just let you know, it sucks.
no. When I heard him say I thought he was gonna say terrible, but he said terrifying.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you know what? Terrifying. That makes me not want to go watch this movie. But I'll probably still go ahead and watch it because it's it's Ethan Hawke, and I've been loving him so far. So
yeah, terrifying seems to be the word that's being thrown around a lot, and I think that's positive because that's what the movie's going for.
Right.
So you should watch it because it is Ethan Hawke, Jose, and Scott Derrickson is such a phenomenal director. I think you'll probably still find enjoyment in it, but people are saying that it was so terrifying they walked out crying. So I don't know.
I mean, I'll probably be one of those people if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a certain group of people, but that's just some of the things I've heard. So that bodes well for Black Phone. I hope it really lives up to that hype. All right, so we're gonna get to some major stuff now. We do have the Warner Brothers performance, which I'm told. No, I'm sorry, not performance presentation, which I'm told didn't go as smooth of a in terms of being a presentation. Wasn't as smooth as say Sony's. I was told Sony's just went a lot more smoothly in terms of pacing of the presentation and all that, but we did get some interesting little nuggets and details out of this that are very, very exciting, and I can't wait to talk about them with you guys. So one of the big things that came out that people are saying was okay. It was an okay little trailer that they showed. They got an extended trailer for Where the Crawdads Sing. So I know Jose and we were lukewarm on that. People are saying that they're still kind of lukewarm, but this is improvement.
I think that was still my favorite joke that I've ever made.
It was one of the funniest things that ever came out of your mouth. When
Dave, you missed it. Dominic.
Yeah, Dave wasn't here that day.
If you missed it, like honestly, Dom and I were just dying laughing when I delivered it. You need to go watch that video, like that's.
Yeah, I watched it, but I stopped before the trailer, so I'll have to. And then I skipped to the news to see Dom disrespect fucking Power Rangers. So
no, but honestly, you need to.
That really
listen,
ruined my mood. But I'll listen to that joke. I got
you.
No,
honestly, like you watch, you see Dom and I just absolutely die laughing. Like it was funny.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the trailer was absolutely like, what the fuck?
It was odd. I'm lukewarm on it, and a lot of people still kind of are. So that was one thing, but there are some people that excite. I did hear some
those hillbilly Alabama dudes who
I don't think those kind of people, no offense, get into Cinemacon. I'm not trying to be mean, but like
I don't think they have a movie theater or shoes, so I doubt they
Cinemacon is very white collar. Like, there's a reason we're not there. Yeah. Let's just say that.
Wow.
Damn.
No offense.
A sweater, sir.
Like, if we can't get
white
in.
Collar?
No. I'm sure that there are
I can't
groups
get
of all types. Price is another part of it, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. But, hey, I would love to go one day. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love to go. But I heard Where the Crawdads Sing trailer that they showed, it's an improvement upon that first trailer, but still kind of lukewarm on it. So there's that.
Wait, can I pay to get into the Cinemacon?
You can.
Straight up, no matter who I am?
Well, you have to prove you're a part of the film industry. In other words, just tell them you're on a YouTube channel that talks about movies and they let you in. That's my understanding.
How much are we talking here for a ticket?
I think it's like $3,000.
That's something I could probably swing.
I've heard worse. Anyway.
Good next year though. I'd be pissed if I pay $3,000 and it sucks.
Oh, the Cinemacon is always good. Like that's the
and
thing.
Now Warner Bros. Presenting the Ezra Miller and Amber Heard crossover movie.
That's the thing.
That's great. I'm leaving.
That's the thing. The presentation's always good at Cinemacon. Like when you pay to go to Cinemacon.
Oh, fucking Ezra Miller, Amber Heard crossover.
When you pay to go to Cinemacon, you're always getting something good though. That's the thing about it. So yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'll look into that next year. Maybe we'll get an inside scoop for
that'd be cool to go for sure. I would love to go. So the big
California.
I'm sorry, Las Vegas.
California?
Las Vegas.
Okay. Okay. Done. Easy.
Yeah, and they say hotel rooms are really easy to book out there because they got so many of them. So it's like one of those cons where you're struggling to find hotels and stuff. So
decent.
Yeah, something I'd really like to check out for sure. All right, so one of the big things. So I love the movie Salem's Lot, or the miniseries, so to speak, from the 70s that was based on the Stephen King novel Salem's Lot. I think that's one of the scariest vampire movies I've ever seen till this day, or miniseries. There's vampire content when it comes to that. Salem's Lot does that for me. Now, there is a remake, reboots, whatever, coming out for Salem's Lot. And they did get the trailer over there at Cinemacon. Much like Black Phone, terrifying. And apparently it had a lot of people jumping back in their seats. So, yeah, from what I'm hearing, this sounds pretty scary. I really like Salem's Lot. I don't know if any of you two have any attachment to this property at all, or have seen the original miniseries.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on from that. But something to
Do
look
the horror,
forward
so
to.
I'll dive into it.
I definitely recommend the original miniseries, though. The original miniseries for Salem's Lot from the 70s is great. Don't watch the one with Rob Lowe. Nobody likes that one. Anyway, so moving on. One of the movies that came out a few years back that I really love is Olivia Wilde's Booksmart. I think that movie was brilliant.
Oh my gosh.
Hysterical.
That movie was amazing.
And
it. Yeah,
it was a
100%.
phenomenal directorial debut from Olivia Wilde that I don't think
100%.
any of us saw coming. It was
No.
so amazing. So we've all kind of been looking forward to what she was going to do next. There was this word about this movie, Don't Worry, Darling, that she's doing next, her second film. And it had Shia LaBeouf in it. Shia LaBeouf got kicked off for bad behavior. And of course, she brought in Harry Styles to replace him. The trailer dropped, and people are saying that this is the best trailer shown at CinemaCon so far. So apparently, whatever's going on with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh in this movie is supposedly very erotic.
Yeah, I was about to say that I'm looking up here an article that says that they get hot and heavy in
Yes.
Olivia Wilde's sneak peek for this movie.
Yeah, and they say that this is going to be a trailer that's definitely going to make us say, what the fuck is going on? And we're going to love it. That's what the consensus has been for the trailer for Don't Worry, Darling.
Psychological thriller horror.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Which, to me, this is interesting because it's such a turn from her comedy that she did, which was her directorial debut. So I'm very interested to see what Olivia Wilde could do with horror. I think she's a phenomenal director. I can't wait for this. I think this movie's going to be great. Dave, Olivia Wilde fan, did you see Booksmart? And what are you thinking about Don't Worry, Darling? Any expectations here?
I know nothing, so I will just say I expect great things.
All right. There you go. Chris Pine's in the movies, if it helps. I love Chris Pine.
I haven't seen the film
Isn't
in
that
a
just
while.
a knockoff Chris Evans? I hear he's just like the worst of the Chris's.
Did you see Wonder Woman? He's great. All right. So
bro, he's amazing in the first one.
I love him.
Just Captain Kirk or something. Like the trash version of Star Wars. I like they're just like all the negative connotations.
I will correct you, sir. That movie was a job application for Star Wars. That not a trash version of Star Wars. A job application.
Job application. They got rejected.
No, it got accepted. J.J. Abrams ended up directing Force Awakens anyway. So yeah. There you go.
For J.J. Used Chris Pine. Good stuff.
Hey, I like Chris Pine. I think he's very charismatic. Anyway, very much looking forward to Don't Worry, Darling. I mean,
same. Honestly, like
Florence Pugh's hot right now.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Honestly, she's. I mean, Harry Styles. I mean, again,
best actor ever. Can't wait for him.
Shut your mouth.
He was good in Dunkirk.
I will slice
better than Bad Bunny for
this
sure.
Hey,
probably is.
They got dark.
Musically, I'll agree with you now. Acting yet to be seen. I think we need more.
Music wise, Bad Bunny. Like you guys don't understand.
Fuck you for talking shit about One Direction. Take it back right now.
I'm talking about One Direction. I'm talking about Harry Styles.
No,
take it back.
I prefer One Direction's songs to Harry Styles.
I forgive you.
Hi.
You're referring to one song. You realize
I've listened to all those other songs and they're all equally annoying.
What are you talking about?
I would rather listen to Bad Bunny than Harry Styles.
I'm about to walk off the show. There's no way you feel that way about Harry Styles' music.
Yes.
No way you light on my world like
and honestly, that's One Direction. Shut the fuck up.
Harry Styles is a part of One Direction, dipshit.
Yeah, they're not One Direction anymore, dumbass.
Yeah, now they're all Directions.
I'm done with this conversation.
Look, and with his performance in Eternals, it was trash. Okay.
And what?
I mean, they could have had anyone play that role. If I'm being honest.
What are you talking about?
You could have stepped any white dude there.
We barely saw any of him.
Well, but that's what I mean. Is that you could have stepped any white dude there, and it would have been equally as good.
We're done talking about this. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie. Anyway, so
same.
Yeah. All right. Good. Glad we agree. All right. Look. All right. So DC's presentation comes up within the Warner Brothers presentation. Now, one of the most exciting things was Matt Reeves did jump on stage. The Batman 2 happening, folks. Yep. It's happening.
Yes.
So I'll just go ahead, guys. How do you feel?
So I am so excited for this. I mean, I gotta say, one of it immediately eliminates the stupidest complaints I've heard about the first Batman with Robert Pattinson here too, which is the fact that for some reason a bunch of people out there think because of the ending that we were gonna get some sort of pacifist Batman. Guys, the Batman 2 is gonna have amazing action. He's gonna beat the shit out of people. He just learned he has a greater purpose than just beating the shit out of people.
Yes.
So I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to see with Colin Farrell's Penguin how that's gonna end up tying into the universe, where that's gonna lead us, and I'm just really excited for this. I don't even know what else to say. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, but look, I'm looking forward to his HBO Max series. I think that'll be pretty cool too. In terms of the sequel, I'm still holding out hope that we'll see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Honestly, I think that Joaquin Phoenix and Robert Pattinson would work tremendously together. And I just think that their two characters fit perfectly well, like in the same universe. I think they do. People can disagree with me if they want. I've been saying this since
power level wise, I totally agree with you.
Look, I've been saying this since Robert Pattinson was, announced for this Batman movie. I think that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker will play perfectly well with Robert Pattinson's Batman. I'm still holding out hope for him to be in the sequel. Maybe he'll be in the trilogy. Who knows? I don't
think they're gonna do it, but
look, and if they only do a sequel, I hope that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker's in there because I really think that
he won't be.
I think there'd be the plot holes. Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Created by it. The plot holes created by it doesn't make sense. It won't happen, but I understand where Jose is coming from in terms of if there wasn't, he would be the perfect.
I was gonna say Barry
combo
Keegan's
bring together.
Already the Joker. The only thing I would say to you, Jose, is that theory that I had.
People are saying that person that Batman was talking to wasn't actually the Joker. It was one of his followers.
Oh, I don't care what they say. He's the Joker.
From the ones that saved him.
It's confirmed in the deleted scene. He is the Joker. There's no doubt about it. I think that the deleted scene confirmed everything we need to know. So, no, I would not cross my fingers for a Walking Phoenix appearance at all. I don't personally think it needs to be in it.
Won't happen.
It won't happen.
Again, Jose is right. It would be an amazing.
I'm not saying
despite
it
the plot holes, performance-wise, power level-wise, movies-wise.
I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I'm just saying that it won't. It
can't.
Yeah, it can't. Really, it can't. Yeah, at this point, it'd be a stretch.
Robert Pattinson's Batman and Joker 2. How about that? Boom.
That wouldn't work either. Anyway,
fuck's sake.
You're ignoring a lot of plot holes. This is like the Grant Gustin's going to be the Flash thing. Speaking of the Flash,
yes, he should. Fuck Ezra Miller.
Can I explain something to you real quick here, Jose? Because I'm going to throw your whole thing out the window here.
Johnny Depp should be the Flash.
Well, there's a couple different things. There's so many problems with what you're saying here. Because first of all, Grant Gustin can't be the Flash because he's the Flash in the CW, which is a completely different universe. Meaning he won't be the Flash in the DC EU. You know why? Because
I would still rather see someone who was in a character that's died in the CW have played the Flash than Ezra Miller, if I'm being honest.
What does that even make sense though? Because all right, first of all,
I just don't like Ezra Miller's Flash. I think he's the most trash Flash that I've seen in my entire life, and I'll hold it to.
I don't blame you for having that opinion about Ezra Miller's Flash, but I'm saying like, how does it make sense to have Grant Gustin as the Flash in this universe?
No, and I never said. And you know what? I've said it in multiple of our reviews that I understand I understand Grant Gustin can because he's already the Flash for this big CW show. But I'm saying you could at least have someone who's died already in the show play the Flash in the DC because I would rather see any of them over Ezra Miller.
But they're dead.
Day of the week. Okay, but you can. Oh, it doesn't mean
all my friends are dead.
Doesn't mean that they can't play Flash in the DC. I mean, you've seen people die in other things that have played in other universes. I mean, shit.
When?
Wesley Snipes is Demolition Man.
maybe not in like comic books, but I mean, I can't think about off the top of my head, but I've seen stuff like that before.
Yeah, like how is Mark Hamill the Joker and Luke Skywalker? I don't understand how these things happen.
It's a completely different thing. It's a completely different conversation. Look, no. All right, I'm going to make my points really quick here. All right, so number one, they write these movies differently. Like whoever's writing and directing the movie that includes the Flash, they're not writing and directing for a tone that's going to fit around Grant Gustin's Flash or any of the CW people. So that doesn't make sense right there. You got to cast somebody who fits the tone of the movie. Now, maybe you don't personally agree that he did, But I would say for a fact, Grant Gustin would not. I can tell you that for a fact.
And I've said before that I can see him not being the DC Flash, because he's still filming for this fucking Flash CW show.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Right. Secondly, Ezra Miller's Flash and Grant Gustin have already met in the show, so that you got that going for in the crossover.
In a crossover,
so
yeah.
So that already wouldn't make sense. So you can't have that. So I'm saying for the people who are still screaming for Grant Gustin, you already got a big plot hole there too. The third thing is I'm convinced that Grant Gustin is in this Flash movie coming out already. As a multiverse appearance,
and I don't doubt that, because
but not as the Ezra Miller one. Yeah,
I was just saying. I mean, in the trailer, there was already like two other Flashes behind him. I mean, obviously they didn't show Grant Gustin's, but I can already put like all my life.
I bet he's in the movie.
I put all my life savings that Grant Gustin's going to be in that movie for sure.
Well, because this is essentially their No Way Home. They're using this to introduce multiverse. But speaking of the Flash, this is where things I would imagine got awkward over there in Vegas. So they definitely did come out and say, we got a Flash movie coming out. Didn't say one word about Ezra Miller. Just said, we got a Flash movie coming out, and we're going to roll the trailer.
They were too embarrassed to mention his name.
Yeah, and they said, I would be too. But they said, we're going to roll out the trailer. So they roll the trailer, and
Mel Gibson walks on screen.
No. Somebody else did, though. And the people at Cinemacon got their first look at Michael Keaton's Batman.
Woo!
So in this trailer, we do have Michael Keaton's Batman, and he said the magic words, you want to get nuts, let's get nuts.
Oh.
And so that's got everybody super excited. Apparently the crowd went insane. So Flash is still on, it sounds like. Sounds like we're still getting this movie. You know, it's going to be kind of hard to talk about this without talking about the controversy, but how are they going to get away with this? I mean, honestly, does anybody have anything on this?
I don't think they've apologized, so I think they'll probably just double down and let's just have Ezra Miller choke a bunch of people right off the bat.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Anybody have a logical answer to that?
Jose? No, honestly, I
think they're just rolling with it.
Yeah, honestly, they've already had him in the movie. They've already filmed it. I feel like they just have to roll with it and just, it's the same thing with Fantastic Beasts. I mean,
I just don't think they care.
Yeah, they already had him in the Fantastic Beasts. They had to put that out. They've already filmed with Ezra Miller in the Flash. I mean, you're not gonna be able to find someone in such short notice to play, Ezra Miller's Flash in the DC. I mean, especially not someone of magnitude. So. I think they're just going to roll with it. They're going to put it out just like they did with Fantastic Beasts, and it is what it is. It's probably going to get a fucking 42 critic score because of Ezra Miller again, like Fantastic Beasts.
You're not wrong. I don't think it deserves it necessarily. I haven't seen it.
No, so I think it's going to be a Fantastic Beasts 3. It's going to get it's going to get a really low critic score, but a very high audience score,
right? Because
of Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think the problem they're faced with though is that this is the movie that they're using to kind of reboot in a way. Because they're going to multiverse some things out that they don't want there anymore. So that's the problem they're kind of faced with.
Hopefully they fucking kill off Ezra Miller's Flash.
They're going to have to multiverse his ass out of there. There's going to have to be some editing.
I hope they kill Ezra Miller's Flash so we never have to see him ever again. I hope that's what happens.
All right.
It'd be funny if they have a parody stand-in actor of Ezra Miller on screen and Michael Keaton just punches him out of the multiverse. That's really what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Like I hope they get really animated with it. It's like a 12-year-old with a high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton just absolutely decks him. And that's just that. Well, that's the end of that guy.
People said that the trailer was very Michael Keaton heavy, but that's
good.
Ezra Miller was also a major part of it. So he's definitely in the movie. There's no doubt about it that he's going to be the Flash in the movie, but I can't deny they're probably going to have to do some editing tricks and at the end somehow multiverse him out, and then maybe you'll get your wish. You'll get Grant Gustin or whatever. But at this point, I just don't see. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't see how they get away with keeping him.
Unless it's the last season of the Flash and they just want to make him the new DC one. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe that's the plan. I don't know. Maybe that's why they will put Grant Gustin. Maybe this is the season finale. Like this is the last season of the show, and they're like, all right, you know what? Now you can be the DC Flash.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be Warner Bros. Way of like secretly just apologizing for Ezra Miller and just bringing in a new Flash. You know what I mean?
Do we know
with someone that has a magnitude and a name a lot higher than Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
So
I don't know about
that's
that.
okay.
In general, I don't know. Well,
in general,
I don't know. I mean, as are certainly in the news a lot more.
no, I mean,
I know what you're saying. I'm fucking with you at this point. Anyway, so
Go straight to Amber Heard.
What's that?
I said Amber Heard, new Flash.
Oh, I hope not. All right. Speaking of Amber Heard, though.
Oh God.
So one of the interesting portions of the presentation was definitely James Wan walking out. From my understanding, James Wan walked out and actually gave a really good presentation. Now, they didn't roll a trailer for Aquaman 2, but what they did do is show a lot of footage, and they said the way that it was presented was they were showing footage, and James Wan was commentating over it. Now, one of the highlights of the Aquaman 2 footage is the technology. A lot of people are saying this technology just looks extremely advanced, and James Wan was kind of talking about the innovation of technology that he's using or incorporating into this film. Now, I know a lot of people were Malignant was incredibly divisive. I stand by it. I thought that movie was very entertaining. It was.
Oh, are you talking about like technology in the universe of the movie?
Like real life technology that he's implementing to make this movie. So like,
okay, gotcha.
VFX. So real life technology. Yeah, I've
like
heard,
using the crazy drone footage in the ambulance movie. Gotcha.
Correct. Yes. So he's using real world
Dimensions.
technology, stuff that we actually haven't seen before, innovated into this, and a lot of people were pointing that out based on the footage, which sounds very cool. A lot of people are saying that they're getting a lot of Star Wars vibes out of this. Apparently, there's a submarine that reminded them of a Star Destroyer in this, so that sounds kind of interesting and cool. I could definitely see James Wan incorporating something like that into Aquaman. Again, though, we are looking at a film that's going to be surrounded by a lot of controversy for obvious reasons. There's a certain actress in there. So, walking around that, I think that this can still really work. I think that there's enough love out there for Jason Momoa and James Wan as a filmmaker who's really done a great job making himself a household name, which doesn't happen with a lot of directors, but James Wan has managed to do that for himself. I think that this movie's going to be really good. I have a lot of confidence in it, honestly, and I don't know where you guys are at, but
I'm just hoping to see more of Randall Park's character in this movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
See what he has to bring to the table, because obviously he only got those, like, he didn't really get much screen time in the first movie.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be really cool to see, what him and Black Mantis brew up for Aquaman. And again, Jason Momoa, I mean, he's just such a household. His name is
he's
everywhere.
awesome.
He's hot right now, and I mean, Dune and everything that he's been in so far. I mean, I think this is gonna be a very, very good movie.
Drogo.
Exactly, Khal Drogo. I finally actually get that.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa. I mean, I can't wait for this movie. I think it's gonna be a really, really good movie. I honestly can't wait for it.
Absolutely. And I'll go on record here too, say that I'm a major fan of the first one as well. I really thought that was 100%. A really fun, entertaining movie. Talented performances all around. I hope Tamara Morrison comes back as the father in this. I would like to see him reprise his role as the father, because I thought he, for the small amount of screen time, he was pretty good in the first movie. Yeah. Dave, what's your opinion on the first Aquaman, and are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. Don't think it was like the best, most breakout DC movie compared to what we got now, which is hard to compare it to though. But when it came out for the time, I really enjoyed the movie compared to most of the DC stuff. So I liked it a lot. I hope Tamara Morrison enters the screen as Boba Fett. I just, with everything that Jose is saying, I feel like that's possible at this point. So I really enjoyed the first one.
By Jose's logic, it is. I'll tell you.
You just see him jetpacking down into the depths.
Jose in theaters is definitely going to be sitting in the theater going, Jango Fett, Jango Fett, Jango Fett, Jango Fett, Jango Fett. But yeah, no, that's
Greg Gustin. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jose, that was cheap. I'm sorry.
Look, I don't give a fuck, bro. I think he's the best Flash.
I'm happy for you. I'm not, by no means am I trashing your opinion on him as the Flash. I just think, what frustrates me about it? I think people don't like Ezra Miller's Flash for the wrong reasons. Like, I think that they're not opening their minds, to the fact that it's just a different universe and different thing. I'm not saying that's your case. I'm saying I feel that way with a lot of people.
He's just still a pussy in the movie. I'm just my honest opinion. I think he's just a.
Isn't Flash though?
Huh?
Like, since I've read the comics as a kid, I feel like I could throw hands with Flash any day, bro. He's kind of weak.
Oh, you go.
He's trash.
Grant
He's
Gustin,
trash.
Try. I dare you.
It's trash, dude.
Okay,
We did try,
Just
Jose. We saw the results.
Just like
but
Tom
we're not
Holland
going to
Spider-Man,
anymore.
bro. That's
Sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. We interrupted your point, but
No, you're good. I mean, I didn't have much more to say other than the fact that I'm extremely disappointed in Warner Bros. And what they're doing with the controversy. I'm upset that the fact that Amber Heard is going to be in this is really upsets me. So it's going to be really hard because, like I said, I don't like to punish people, like especially Jason Momoa, which I really love, and I mean a lot of the cast I really love, and I like the movie, so I really don't want to punish them. But at that point in time, I may not watch this movie, which really disappoints me because they've really disappointed me here. I don't know if I'll even see The Flash at this point, so
I'll watch it. If Grant Gustin's confirmed for the movie, I'm gonna watch it. Honestly, I'll just zone out. I'll just pretend Ezra Miller's in the movie.
Yeah, it's tough, and I'm a fan of Ezra Miller's Flash. I in terms of the performance, personally, I've always defended it.
I preferred his the Snyder cut. I preferred that performance from him.
Oh, he was great in that, I thought.
Especially that scene that won the Oscar for favorite audience or whatever. I think
something like that.
I saw the Snyder cut of Ezra Miller's Flash won that, and I mean, his performance in that was great. I mean,
phenomenal.
That's probably I think that was my favorite part of his Flash. The rest of it dead, but that specific scene was incredible.
Yeah, I thought he did some good stuff in that. So one of the things I'm most looking forward to, and I know some people are lukewarm on this, but this is another thing from DC that I think just definitely needs to be touched on. Obviously, it was kind of a big deal when it came out. Didn't make as much as money as I expected, but it definitely made good money. It made a lot of profit. Was Shazam. That movie was phenomenal, and they in my opinion, one of their best movies that they've ever done. I walked out with a smile on my face.
So happy you said that, Dom, because ever since that movie has come out, I've been judged so heavily for liking
I don't know why. It's one of their best movies, and it really is, truly.
The audience, like DC fans, really do not like it. When I say I like Shazam, they get pissed. So it's like
I've gotten a little bit of shade too from time to time for it, and I'll tell you what, man, that movie captures that sense of wonder that we just don't get in a lot of That sense of childhood
I'm gonna
wonder.
butcher the actor's name, but what's the
Zachary Levi?
Zachary Levi. I loved him in Chuck. He did such an outstanding job in Shazam because I'm such a big Chuck fan. I was so happy to see him back on screen. And like you said, the movie is just really fun. It leaves you with a smile on your face. It's one of the reasons I got excited for Peacemaker when it came back, because it's, obviously Peacemaker is a lot more rated R, but it got back to the fun. Of having you can have a fun movie, DC. You can have a fun movie. It's okay, we'll allow it.
It's one of the best.
I really enjoyed Shazam. It was an excellent movie.
And now that you say that, Dave, because I actually finally watched Shazam because it was on HBO Max. And actually I watched Shazam, and then I watched Peacemaker.
I'm happy because I didn't know you did.
And then I watched Peacemaker like a couple days later with a friend. And now that you say that, it's like Peacemaker's like a rated R version. Like, I totally agree with you. I really actually enjoyed Shazam a lot. And,
not necessarily even putting like a direct delineation between the two, but just saying that, throughout most of Marvel's history, everyone's favorite movies are the extraordinarily dark movies for the most part. So people, for some reason, get really pissed when I say it like Shazam, and it's like, dude, it was a good movie. Screw you for
it actually
trying to stop me.
I actually really enjoyed. It made me laugh a lot. It was very comedic, and I just really enjoyed the movie as a whole. I can't wait for the second one. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a great film.
And, David F. Sandberg is one of those filmmakers to me. Another one of those guys I've just been following from early on in his career. Where I thought Lights Out was a really nice little modest horror film. I thought it was really entertaining for what it was, and his follow up to that, Annabelle Creation, was great too. And when I saw Shazam, I was like, this is one of the more talented directors we definitely have working today. And I really enjoyed what he did with Shazam like a hell of a lot. I thought it was one of their best movies easily, especially in the
100%.
DCEU. It's definitely up there at the top. So
Yeah,
David S.
100%.
Sandberg came out and he did show Cinemacon a trailer for Shazam 2, and people
Fear the gods.
are lukewarm on it. The reactions I've heard about the Shazam 2 trailer have been lukewarm. They said that
They're probably the same people that don't like the first one.
yeah, maybe
Exactly about what I was about to
exactly.
say. Probably the same motherfuckers that were shit talking over here about the first one.
We probably love it, so there you go. So you got that going for it. But I'm looking forward to it either way. I'm gonna go watch this. And yeah,
Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Get me. Look, sign me up. I'm excited for this movie. I can't wait, especially after finally watching the first one. Because I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of the first one, but I finally watched it as a whole not too long ago, and I really, it made me laugh. So I can't wait for the second one. I think it's gonna be really good.
So I think the thing that a lot of us are looking forward to, I think the project from DC that's definitely sparked the most curiosity has been Black Adam.
Yes. Oh my god, I can't wait to see Dwayne Johnson in. Go ahead.
Especially, well, you got Dwayne Johnson. And you watched that first teaser, it was so good, and like it just had him playing this.
He just fits the role.
Yes,
perfectly. Like no one else could play Black Adam as well, from what I've seen, as well as Dwayne Johnson. Honestly, like, he just fits the character so well.
You know, especially for me being a Shazam fan, you know, him being kind of built up to be a villain of Shazam's eventually is going to be like something I cannot wait to see.
Bro, watching Dwayne Johnson versus Zachary Levi.
It's going to be amazing to watch.
It's some funny shit, bro. It's going to be funny as hell.
Well, the thing is, based on the Shazam trailer, I mean, it's going to be the whole damn Shazam family. Apparently, they showed up in the Shazam 2 trailer.
I mean, that's called Fury of the Gods.
So there you are.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are looking forward to Black Adam. I think it's definitely the one that's at least sparked the most curiosity from everybody.
And honestly, I think it's also mainly because of the fact that it's Dwayne Johnson who's playing the role of Black Adam. Like you don't really see him in a role like this. So the fact that he's stepping up to play this kind of role, I think is what's really sparking people's attention a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just the star power of Dwayne Johnson at this point is undeniable.
He's also he's talented. He's a talented man.
Yeah.
He's got the name. He's got talent. Like I can't wait.
He's been attached to Black Adam for I think like 9 years now. Like
he said that he said that in the DC fandom when he released the teaser.
Absolutely,
he did mention that he's been attached to Black Adam for like years and years, and it's like his baby. He loves it. So
absolutely, and so a lot of us are just very curious. We cannot wait to see this thing, get it out there. So they came out on stage and said Dwayne Johnson couldn't be here tonight with us. He's in Hawaii filming a movie, unfortunately. So they did bring him out.
Bro, another movie, Jesus Christ.
But he's a busy man. We understand, right? He's a very busy man. So they brought him out on apparently this is my understanding of it. So they brought him out on this video. He's like, "Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be here. I'm in Hawaii, but I really want to talk to you about Black Adam. I'm so excited for this movie." Actually, he wanted to talk about 2 DC projects he's got coming. The DC League of Super Pets and Black Adam. So he was like, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So
judge that movie. I dare you, Jose. I'm gonna break your kneecaps, bro. Shut up. Stop laughing.
So
it's my most anticipated movie.
You only want to see
it's
it.
Finally Superman.
Yeah. Anyway, so look, and so Dwayne Johnson's on the screen. He's like, I'm really excited for DC League of Super Pets and also Black Adam. I would really like to be there to tell you about it. And then he said, okay, you know what? Fuck it. And then apparently he got up on the video and then Dwayne Johnson actually walked out on the stage, surprised everybody. So that's very cool. Yeah. So super cool.
Lucky fuckers.
Came down, fist bumped the crowd, just did the Dwayne Johnson thing. Put on a hell of a presentation. Showed the trailer for Secret Life of Pets, DC League of Super Pets. And apparently, people are lukewarm on it. That's my understanding.
I'm not surprised. I mean,
and I have been too.
I was gonna say
same ones that didn't like Shazam trash.
No, look from the first trailer that I watched it's like Secret Life of Pets meets DC. Like
it's gonna be better than Encanto.
Oh, shut up! No, it's not.
Yeah,
it ain't, bro. It's not.
Look, anyway, so then we had the Black Adam trailer.
Oh, I bet you people fucking went berserk.
And I hear it's freaking amazing.
Oh, you see, I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
I will tell you the specifics because I want you guys to really react to the trailer when it comes out. and like get a
100%.
fresh
Don't
thing.
tell me. Yeah, no.
But there we are. So there's that. Excuse me.
That's making me even more excited for the trailer, which is making me even more excited for the movie. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Absolutely. So sounded like a really fun presentation. I did want to say one thing from their presentation for last is the last of the Warner Brothers lineup, and that's because it's one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, Baz Luhrmann. So Baz Luhrmann is one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. I love his Romeo and Juliet. I think Moulin Rouge is one of the best movies out there. It's so good. It's a great musical. Ewan McGregor singing your song. Oh my God, that's so good. Love Moulin Rouge and Great Gatsby with Leo and Toby. Man, I thought that was an awesome movie too. Yeah. I know people are lukewarm on it, but I loved it personally. So Baz Luhrmann, he's almost hit 100% for me. So
people are lukewarm on The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire.
Have you not read people's thoughts on that? Yeah, they're very lukewarm.
You know what I gotta say about that?
I love that movie.
Dom, you know what I gotta say about that? Forget about it.
All right, forget about it. I like that. That's a very Al Pacino way to be passive aggressive. So I appreciate it. Yeah, look, but Baz Luhrmann came out on stage, and apparently, from what I hear, he was out there for way too fucking long talking. But he's Baz Luhrmann, so we'll give him the time.
Typical.
Yeah.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
But
yeah.
Baz Luhrmann pulled out the trailer for Elvis. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is the best trailer of the presentation.
Okay, never heard of it, but
Elvis? We talked about Elvis.
You made jokes.
Yeah, we wrote a joke about it.
No, I heard Elvis, and I thought
one of the best jokes you've ever heard.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. I honestly couldn't remember. I blacked out for a second there. I forgot about it. I heard Elvis, and I was thinking of something else. But yeah.
Look, I have not heard the specifics on what happens in the trailer, but all I can say is I'm so fucking excited for Elvis. I think this movie's gonna destroy.
The trailer, the first trailer that we saw, it was great. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait.
Apparently, Austin Butler was there, who's playing Elvis. He came out on stage. They were explaining about how all the singing is really him.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
he's handsome as hell. That's one of the things I was gonna say was I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too excited about Elvis in terms of like musically, very into music, especially rock. You know, there's like a million bands today that could play his own music better than him. So no offense, but I respect for what he did for the time, kind of like Bruce Lee with mixed martial arts. Even though he's not a real fighter, I appreciate what he did in spreading awareness. And all I could say is, I mean, Austin already has beaten Elvis in the trailer of himself singing his song. So I'm really excited for this one, despite not really caring much about Elvis. It looks like a great movie.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see Austin's performance in it.
I know Boz also brought out a sizzle reel of some behind the scenes stuff for the movie and just kind of explaining how they used some modern music to mash up with some of the older Elvis music to try to make it sound a little bit more modernized.
Yeah, I noticed that
in the trailer. So that's going to be very interesting to see people's reactions to. But wait. This Warner Brothers presentation has not concluded yet. There's more, and I saved this for last, actually, specifically for Jose.
Can I cut in really quick with something?
If you're not going to guess what this is,
really, no, I'm not going to guess what it is. Just before we go away from the last point, what I wanted to say was a genius move on Warner Brothers Studio to one of the modern music hits that they spliced in with some of the Elvis music in the trailer that they're going to do in the movie was "Come Together" by Gary Lewis Clark Jr. I think his name is. That was one of the most genius moves ever. Way to go, Warner Bros. You know, not so great on the Ezra Miller stuff, but great move on the music there. That was genius. That his song and his performance, and just in the trailer, what I could tell will be in the movie, is gonna sound amazing with that modern music, with them using the guitar solo from "Come Together." That's gonna be
absolutely. I agree, man. I can't wait for that. I think that's gonna be very cool. Boz is just a genius with mixing that modern art with the old, and it just always works and makes for great content. But Jose, I saved this one for you. This is the last piece I'll talk about of the Warner Brothers presentation, then we'll move to Disney.
Okay.
Warner Brothers said, we got a very special guest we'd like to pull out, and out walked Denis Villeneuve, and he said, we are hard at work at Doom Part 2. Goodbye. So that was it. So I just wanted to save that for you.
Give me Doom 2 now.
Little tidbit,
bro. I honestly can't wait to see that whole cast. Well, not the whole cast, because half of them are dead. But I can't wait to see honestly what Zendaya's character brings now, because obviously it's gonna be more focused on her with Timothy, because their chemistry in the movie what is phenomenal, and it's just gonna get better and better with this second part. And yeah, I just can't wait, honestly.
So small little tidbit for you, man. There you are. So all right, we got probably what's always going to be the biggest part of it, Disney's presentation. All right, so they opened up with Fox, the Fox stuff they have going. So I'm going to mention this because I heard the trailer was really good, and I don't know if anybody else is interested or has any prior investment in this IP. So one of the trailers they showed was for the Bob's Burgers movie, and a lot of people are saying it's really good, this trailer. I've seen a couple episodes of Bob's Burgers. It's funny. Other than that, I
Jose, jump out that window.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I watching the trailer. It looks like something that I'd watch if I was like on an acid trip.
It's a new trailer though. Keep in mind. So people are saying this trailer that they showed at Cinemacon is better. So.
I mean, from the ones that I've seen, like you know, on YouTube and in the theaters when I've gone to see movies.
Well, I've heard that from people that the trailers that they put out have not been good, but the one at Cinemacon was supposedly really good. So
I still don't see the appeal in Bob's Burgers, but I mean that's just me.
All right. Dave, you're a Bob's Burgers guy, right? Or no?
My girlfriend loves Bob's Burgers. It's one of her favorite things. I really enjoy Bob's Burgers. The Simpsons is the best animated series of all time, but it's been garbage ever since like the Lady Gaga episode, like when I was 16. So I'm excited for the movie. How it's going to play out on the big screen, I have no idea. Yeah. My girlfriend would love it regardless. I'm going to be pretty harsh on it. I hope it's as good as the series. I really enjoy Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like fun. Really quick interjection. I was going to especially tell Jose about this. So going back to Warner Brothers for a quick second, there was one little thing I did leave out. I forgot to mention, which was, so you know how Disney Plus is doing the IMAX enhanced, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah. I guess HBO Max is also going to implement something similar. So
of course they are.
Yeah, just a little tidbit I wanted to throw in for Warner Brothers.
Competition, man. They have to. Disney's doing it now. HBO's like, you know what? If Disney's gonna do it, then we have to do it as well.
Back to Disney and Fox, because this is one of the bigger pieces of news that came out.
Because Disney's the best. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So they rolled out the Avatar 2 trailer.
Oh my gosh. I need to see this.
Yes, me too.
Because I honestly, this has been probably one of my most anticipated movies, like
I'm with you.
of all time, like literally of all time, because it's been so long since the first one has been out.
Yeah.
That it's been a decade? More?
Maybe more at this point, I think.
When did the first one come out? What, 2010?
Yeah, I think you're right. So it's been over a decade.
It's a little bit over a decade since the first movie came out. And bro, I mean, bro, they're gonna make what, like 4 movies for the what just happened? Oh, looks like Dave cut out.
All right, well, tell him to come back and we'll fix him. Okay. If you could text him for me,
yeah. So so honestly, like this, I mean, they're gonna make what I think it was like 4 movies for Avatar. And this, the second one is just now coming out. What, 2023, I think.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I've been literally has been my most anticipated movie of all time. Like I haven't been more anticipated for a movie as this one, because I'm just ready to see him live fully as an Avatar now. And obviously from pictures that I've seen, it looks like they have kids in this movie. Him and his girlfriend, I guess they become husband and wife in this movie, whatever. But from what I've seen, it looks like they're gonna have kids in this movie, and if they do, I think that'll be cool to see them grow a family. And so I can't wait to see what they bring with the entirety of it, because I know technology has advanced from when the first movie came out. Oh dang.
Yeah.
He said his dog's tail hit his power.
Oh, okay. So hopefully we get him back here any minute, guys. Sorry we can't have the video on Jose right now, but keep going, Jose.
It's been over a decade since the first movie, and so technology has obviously advanced since. So I just can't wait to see what the CGI effects that they're going to be using in this movie is just going to be out of this world. Well, I already know the budget for this movie is going to be through the roof.
That's one of the things that people keep mentioning about the trailer is it's beautiful and stunning. And one of the most interesting things that they did here is they did hand out 3D glasses to people, because this 3D technology is new that they're using. So
that's honestly sick. And look, I couldn't think of a better movie to do a 3D than with Avatar, just because of how beautiful like the landscape of the entire like Pandora world is. yeah, I mean the floating rocks, the waterfalls, you know, coming down from the rocks and all that other. Yeah, man, I can't wait, man. This movie's gonna be a great one.
It's basically been, the narrative has been this technology is incredible. Like 3D has never looked this good, and it's
I'm not
something
surprised. I'm not
that,
surprised with I mean with the kind of movie that Avatar is, and with the technology that they have now.
Yeah,
it's I mean, I'm not surprised that it's as beautiful as people are saying it is.
And James Wan is just continuously innovating. And I don't know where this weird narrative came out about the first Avatar since it came out, where people are like, that movie wasn't really that good. Really, it's like, because you were one of them, I guarantee it, that went to go see it about 500 times when it came out.
Bro, I went to watch it opening day at the theaters, and I've seen it on Disney Plus ever since.
Right.
Like, I will go and revisit that movie every time, and I'll love it as much every single time.
And
honestly.
what's funny to me is there's this narrative that this movie won't make any money. It's like, have you seen James Cameron's track record as a director?
Bro, have you seen how much have you seen how much his first one made alone?
Yes.
Like, that first one made billions.
And
you're doubting the second one? Come on now.
And he's got Titanic, which was in the top whatever for the longest time.
Avatar and Titanic are up in like the top 5 of top grossing of all time. So like, you're really doubting the second movie and the director?
Never doubt James Cameron. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing.
He's got 2 of the highest grossing movies in the top 5 of all time. So why are you doubting this guy? I mean, he's a phenomenal director, very talented, and I can't wait to see what he brings for this Avatar too.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave's coming back here any minute, and let's make sure he's in the right screen. No, he's not. Let's switch you guys around, and we'll get Dave back in the right spot here.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, just a little bit, folks, but we're gonna work on them.
My apologies, guys. My dog is trying to sabotage this production, and I will not allow it. I threw the cat at him, and we're square now. So
yeah, I don't know what happened to your camera here, Dave. So give me 1 second. I'm working on that. There you are. I think we got you back in the right spot. Well, we're talking about the Avatar 2 trailer and title came out, The Way of Water. It's going to be called Avatar 2, The Way of Water. It's supposed to be a very water-based movie. Just really quick, since
sorry we missed all that.
You're okay.
Avatar sucks.
Well, all right. Well, then,
just give us
what's your thoughts and opinions? What do you think?
Avatar's overrated, and
oh my, get out, leave.
Yeah.
You know, I hope your dog gets your power again. Honestly.
Now, I'm not saying that if you like Avatar, you're a brain dead idiot that is more focused on special effects than actual plot or character development, but you're a brain dead idiot who cares more about special effects, CGI, than actual plot or character development. So
yeah, I think
Avatar does not deserve to be number 1.
I think
it just doesn't. It doesn't.
I think we're gonna.
If it wasn't for the overhype, I could probably come to terms with the fact that it's a good movie. I'd probably get to that statement. But the fact that it's number 1 is garbage.
I think that we're gonna get more character development in the second movie, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, maybe like even like an ounce would help.
Anyway, so there's that. Never doubt Cameron. The movie's gonna come out. It's gonna make tons of money. It's gonna happen. So let's.
Oh, it'll make money.
It will. Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to the Disney presentation, or I'm sorry, we just did the Disney Fox presentation. Now let's move on to the Disney Pixar presentation, which they rolled out Lightyear, and they showed the movie.
The full movie?
The full movie. They showed the full movie.
Wait,
and the reviews
sons of bitches
have been astounding. And
I am not surprised.
I've heard a couple people say this is the first movie that they saw that they are pretty positive is going to be a Best Picture nominee. They think it's that good. So that's high praise.
Wow.
They said that the visuals are unbelievable. This is the first Pixar film. Let's talk about this. This is the first Pixar film to actually be done in complete IMAX ratio. So it is meant for the IMAX. People are saying that this is legitimate sci-fi.
Oh.
And I was going to save this for... I have to tell you about this. There is a little bit in classic Pixar fashion, kind of spoofing on things that they, came out before and things, and in a fun way. There is an opening crawl a little bit to this movie, and I think it said something along the lines in 1990 whatever, Andy bought a toy based on his favorite movie, and underneath that it says this is that movie, and then they show the movie. This sounds incredible. I can't wait. People are saying that this is so much more legit sci-fi than you'll ever think it is. They're also saying that this movie will make you cry not once, not twice, not 3 times, maybe 4 or 5.
I'm gonna cry.
There's so much going on here.
I'm gonna cry 10. I'm gonna cry 10 times. Fuck it. Like,
that opening, like, it almost brings tears to my eyes. Just that opening text that's honestly, in the movie, and
Jesus Christ.
They said that this massively exceeded expectations, and that this is unbelievably.
I'm happy for Chris Evans, honestly.
So, my anticipation level went up so much more for Lightyear.
I've got goosebumps, bro. Honestly, just from hearing what you said already. But
what do you guys think? I mean, it's exciting. I mean, I think.
Honestly, I'm super excited. I can't wait. Just from what you've said alone, I'm even more excited for this movie. I was already highly anticipated for this movie, but I'm even more now. I'm super stoked, and I can't wait to see Chris Evans voicing Buzz Lightyear, and like you said, this is full sci-fi, so I can't wait because sci-fi is one of my favorite genres. So
now by people saying that they think they're confident this is the first one that will be a Best Picture nominee, that's not saying that like the Batman won't be a Best Picture nominee, or that they don't think a Batman could be a Best Picture nominee or something like that. What they're saying is this is the one that they're most confident will be at this point. Like, it's almost a lock. So that's just from a couple people that I've heard, but for the most part, the reviews for Lightyear have been overwhelmingly positive. Good. Wow. Stunning. Dave, are you looking forward to Lightyear?
Yeah, I'm very, very skeptical. Toy Story 1 and 2 have a huge spot in my heart. Huge. I grew up with all the toys, the toy chest that Disney sold for a ridiculous amount of money that my mom bought me as a kid. The whole toy chest that came with a bed set and all the toys in there, including the Green Army Men, of which I love, and the Monkeys in a Barrel, classic style. Oh my God, yes. So I am so into Toy Story specifically. The only one that even comes close is Monsters Inc. for me, that I am very worried just for the fact that 3 and 4 sucked really bad. Obviously, really this is its very own thing.
I liked 1 and 2. I despised 3, but I actually really enjoyed 4. I think they
I love them.
4 wasn't that bad, but I just didn't measure up to 1 and 2, so I misspoke there. My apologies.
That's obvious. Then
it didn't even close to measure up to 1 and 2. Like, it was a decent watch for me. I didn't think it was the most spectacular thing. 3 was garbage.
3 was.
And I think this is its own thing, luckily, so I'm not holding it to the standard of like that plot line being downward spiral. It's its own thing. It's just, obviously it makes me nervous because after Toy Story 2, I didn't think that they would make one like 3. So I'm skeptical of it. I wish nothing but the best for this movie, though. I hope I go to movies and I'm absolutely stunned. I'll go watch this opening night. I'm stoked for it. Maybe we'll do a little show with me and Dom immediately after watching, if you could watch it upon release.
I do plan to watch it upon release, if not earlier.
I'm gonna watch the opening day too, bro. What you mean?
Oh yeah, I'm
there.
This has moved way up to one of my most anticipated now, and just based on these reactions and
honestly, it's like Avatar 2 and Lightyear, like right there for me right now. Like these two movies.
That's disrespectful to Buzz, but fuck you.
So,
fuck you.
Disney did not roll out a Star Wars presentation, which celebrations in like 3 weeks or so. So
I was gonna say, isn't it celebration soon? So they're probably saving most of the stuff here.
I don't know.
I don't think they want to trash the movie theaters with all their streaming releases that are putting them out of business.
I mean, maybe the one thing they could have done is just release a new Obi-Wan trailer for the people at Cinemacon, and that's about it. I don't think there was much more to do.
Yeah. So again, I think that'll piss off the theaters, but that's
true. Yeah, it is. This is a convention mainly for theaters, so you're correct. So
yeah,
there's that. Although I don't know. I thought I heard a rumor that Obi-Wan was going to be in like very select theaters, so I don't know. Who knows? Very very select though, like maybe 1 or 2, probably like LA and New York. Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
I'll fly.
Just a rumor. I don't know how true it is. So yeah, maybe that's like the one thing they maybe could have done. Who knows? But
is Obi-Wan a weekly release schedule?
It is.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you get 2 in the first 2 in the first week.
Oh yeah, they gave us 2 now.
Well, they pushed 2 days. That's why.
Yeah.
And
then after that, it'll be 1 weekly. Yeah.
Except.
But they obviously got to the Marvel presentation, which is the most anticipated thing of this whole Cinemacon.
And obviously,
I'm nervous for something here, Dom. and it's about our last topic of the podcast as usual
All right.
lately. So
Well,
I'm hoping you have something to say on that, because if you don't, I might just call it quits here. So,
I don't have anything to say about Moon Knight, I'll be honest. But what I will
Damn
say
it.
is that Kevin Feige jumped out and they said that he put on a presentation like a pro, didn't even use a teleprompter like other people did.
Nice.
That's Feige for you. He's just so
That's why he's a
damn-
natural.
Yeah,
Stayed up all
absolutely.
night.
He's a natural.
Absolutely. What he did mention, and I found this to be very interesting, is he was talking about how they're mapping out the next 10 years of what the MCU is going to look like.
Jesus Christ.
And that multiverse is definitely a tool that they're keeping in their back pocket. So
I'm not surprised.
it doesn't sound like it's something that's going away anytime soon. So that's interesting.
With this, the next Marvel movie coming, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Now, there were some release dates that were confirmed. I would say the big highlight is Black Panther 2 coming out in November of 20. So he did
2022. Yep.
So that is locked in now. He did go ahead and lock that in.
Do we know who Black Panther is, by the way?
Well, okay, so they did show a few seconds, and I've heard it's very heavy on Lupita Nyong'o's character, but it didn't confirm that she's Black Panther per se. But that's very
she'll probably be like Queen of Wakanda or some shit. Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't be mad at, if I'm being honest. I think that could be cool.
Now the big part about this presentation is that he rolled out the first 20 minutes of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for people to see.
Nice.
Oh my God, what I have heard about this.
Oh, I'm not surprised. People would probably like jaw drop. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
Now it's 20 minutes of the movie. What I have heard, and I will not spoil anything, but what I have heard,
mind blowing. I bet, bro. It's a multiverse.
Holy shit! This is going to be amazing.
You know this one was. This one was made for IMAX as well.
Yeah,
they use IMAX cameras, so I'm definitely going IMAX.
I can promise you, based on what I heard, the first 20 minutes of this movie is going to be the best first 20 minutes of any Marvel movie so far, just based on what I heard.
Wow, that's a bold statement right there.
Now
did you see how much? Did you read how much money that they racked up in advance ticket sales?
I got my money.
Yeah, I read they broke Batman's record. I read that. Didn't quite do No Way Home.
$42 million already just in advance tickets.
That's amazing for a Doctor Strange movie, especially.
That's ridiculous.
But look, what I will say is this: I've heard a couple little things thrown around. I'm not spoiling anything. So I've heard that this is definitely the Sam Raimi style of quick cutting, editing, just meshed into one giant bonkers thing. In this first 20 minutes alone, it covers, I'll say this, it covers so much in 20 minutes alone, and people are saying that because Sam Raimi's so good at that quick cut style, they're saying he's using a lot of influence from Evil Dead, and they even said that they felt the tone of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's coming back into the film. So that's so good to me. I love that, hearing that Sam Raimi's sticking to him and doing him. He's making a Sam Raimi movie here. I love that. It sounds bonkers. Another thing that I've heard is it's very violent. I will say that some of the things that happened in the first 20 minutes of the movie, very violent.
That's it. I'm getting my refund. How dare they do a violent movie?
And
but it's Sam Raimi. I'm not surprised that it's violent.
I also have heard, I could tell you, Wong is going to be the most badass you've ever seen Wong just in the first 10-20 minutes alone.
Let's go.
I was gonna say, from the trailers, I kind of got that a little bit.
Yeah,
he seemed kind of badass.
Yeah. Now I don't know what happens in the first 20 minutes that makes people say this. I kind of have a little bit of an idea, but I don't really know. I promise, mostly because I didn't want to. But I did hear that Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda in this first 20 minutes gives one of the craziest performances she's ever given.
I mean, alone. Yeah. I mean, if you really think about what she's, what she's trying to do in this entire movie, it's just ridiculous.
People are saying that her introduction in this movie is so emotional that you're gonna cry when you first see it.
I don't doubt that. I'm a very emotional person. I don't doubt that I'm gonna cry in this movie.
It just had people reacting, her introduction in this. So it's in the first 20 minutes, you know that much. So you expect to see Wanda somewhere in the first 20 minutes of this movie. So that's about it, man. That's Cinemacon for you guys. So how
Yeah,
you?
bro, I am going to watch every single one of these. Not every single one of the movies, but most of the movies that have just been announced.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to a lot of these movies that have been releasing these little trailers and snippets of the movies. Some more highly anticipated than others, obviously, but there's a lot of these movies that I'm going to go watch for sure.
Yeah, Dave, how you feeling, man?
That's I'm shaking right now. Marvel's been shooting pretty 50-50 for me lately with a lot of their stuff, but very, very recently, No Way Home, No Way Home, Moon Knight. I mean, these have been very good for me lately. I love the WandaVision. So I'm thinking that this is the good 50. I can't see how it wouldn't be. And so I'm excited for this one, and I'm just hoping the Marvel continues to step it up. I'm not gonna lie, this phase of Marvel I thought was going to be very underwhelming. I didn't think much good would come of it because I didn't like Tom Holland Spider-Man movies before. So before I knew No Way Home was happening, I didn't expect anything from there. Stephen Strange or Doctor Strange was the only thing that I was looking forward to in this universe. So I'm pretty stoked for this one because that's all I thought I had. I didn't know that they were gonna do anything with Moon Knight. I'm very stoked, for Doctor Strange. I'm thinking I might need to go see this on release date and not tell any of my friends or family. I'm supposed to see it with later about it. So I think I might see this opening night and not tell anyone secretly. Oh shit, they better not watch.
Hey, cut it out.
That's a little point. Yeah. Edit that, Tom. Edit it. Save me. I definitely wouldn't go see this on my girlfriend and friends. I already got tickets. I'm going that night, Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Definitely. But yeah, I'm super stoked for this. And the only thing that's really making me nervous about Marvel right now is the fact that Moon Knight is so unbearably amazing, and it sounds like it might be limited. But yeah, we'll save that to the end.
Well, look, and the other thing is, I want to say about all that, based on your comments, is this might not be the best phase of Marvel, but it's definitely the most bonkers. I think we can all agree on that. It's been the most 100%, bonkers. 100%. They are doing their most experimental stuff right now, and sometimes it's paying off.
They're really going balls to the walls with this phase.
They really are.
Honestly, I like it because it's different. It's not that typical, Avengers movies and it's not your typical Avenger movies.
We're getting out of the style. Good point. That's one of the things I appreciate about this phase is even with the ones I don't like Eternals, I thought it didn't quite come through the same for me. At least Eternals is different, and I respect it in that sense.
Look at Shang-Chi, something completely different.
Absolutely.
Yes. They just completely killed that. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I'm appreciating a lot from Disney and Marvel right now, is that they're definitely evolved, and they're not going with those typical Marvel
cookie cutter Marvel movies.
Exactly. And they're really trying to go balls to the walls and put out some different shit that we've never seen before. And that's what's really exciting me for these movies and for the MCU moving forward in the future, especially.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bonkers Marvel, we definitely know Moon Knight, and now we're 2 episodes behind that we have to talk about. We'll get into the spoilers, but I don't think it's so much of a spoiler to say that Moon Knight has a hippo in it. There's a big hippopotamus in Moon Knight. So, and most people know that. It's common knowledge. So before we get into spoilers, I do need you guys to see the hippo song. Now, what makes this very interesting is Oscar Isaac was on Jimmy Fallon 6 months before Moonlight even aired, and out came this hippopotamus song that apparently he wrote for his child. So we're gonna listen to this right now. This has been pretty trendy today.
Don't tell me.
Can you guys see the screen? I apologize.
No.
Give me 1 second here to pull this back up. That's okay. I'm sorry. I'll get that back up for you. There you are.
The correct term is African American. I'm just kidding.
Sorry about that.
Here's a pick right here. All right, the pick too.
The hippo song.
All right, Eugene and Mads. So, well, here's the thing. I remember I played it for Jessica's daughter, and she started crying.
Oh no!
So it can be intense too. So it's got they're little boys.
With an open mind.
I hope I don't cry. Okay.
Yeah, it's the hippo song. It's about the hippopotamus, the most dangerous land animal in the world. Hippopotamus. 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 Ah! I'm a hippopotamus. I like swimming, but I'm dangerous. If you get too close to me, I might just bite your feet. Oh, hippopotamus, hippopotamus, hippopotamus. I'm a hippopotamus. I'm a hippopotamus. I'm fat and dangerous. If you don't understand, I might just bite your hand. Hippopotamus.
I like this jam.
Hippopotamus. Hippopotamus.
And that was when fucking Dune was coming out. So I have a theory, okay? And so quick,
bro. I already look. I already know my ringtone's gonna be.
Exactly. That is one of the most catchiest things.
That's my ringtone right there.
It's one of the catchiest tunes I've ever heard, first of all. But secondly, I have a theory. And this is just based on my opinion on something in Moon Knight, okay? So just keep this in mind. It's just my opinion. Okay. We might differ when we get into the spoiler discussion. I'm not really on board with the hippo right now. I gotta be honest. So my theory is that Kevin Feige came out to Oscar Isaac when he was going on for fucking Dune. That's how long ago it was. Came up to Oscar Isaac is like, we got this hippo thing going on in the Moon Knight show. We're not really sure how people are going to take it. So can you make a hippopotamus song and just sing it to make it cool? Like maybe there was something like that. I don't know. It's just a small theory. It doesn't really matter. But listen, it is time. We are going to talk about Moon Knight episodes 4 and 5 because we did miss Moon Knight last week, and I'm excited to get into all of it. So I'm going to start out here really quickly. Not really quickly. I'm just going to start out with 4. I'm going to dive right in. Well, a little bit more quickly than 5 because I think we got more to talk about in 5. I don't want to waste too much time. So 4 was interesting, and I say that in the sense like I was really digging the Indiana Jones vibe before. I like the adventure aspect of it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And then something happens toward the end. Well, first of all, let me talk about this because it's full spoilers. We got the reveal about Layla's father. I thought that was really interesting. It just definitely made the show a lot more interesting. But we're also getting this real bond coming in between Steven and Layla, and that's kind of causing this rift between him and Mark. And
when he punches himself.
Exactly. And it's causing this rift. That was a funny moment. It was a funny moment.
It was funny as hell.
So I
laughed so hard, bro.
I thought the episode was fantastic. But then you get to the ending and it's like, oh shit, what the fuck,
bro? It was some like I don't know, some like cleansing type, like he's on drugs. He was kind of just like floating, like kind of like just relaxing type shit. It was really weird. I don't know.
Well, when he got shot, eventually that's what happens. Arthur, right? Am I saying that right?
Arthur Harrow.
Arthur Harrow. Yeah, it's Arthur. I thought it was Arthur. It didn't sound right when I said it out loud for some reason, but it is Arthur.
Shoots him twice. Yeah.
Shoots him twice. In a spot where he'd clearly die. And he goes down. And you're right. It was like this weird euphoric type thing going on when he was going down.
That's what I mean. Like, because at first he was like in the, because it was shallow at first, or it was like there was rock on the ground, and then it just transitions into him kind of like going down, but then at the same time like ascending at the same time, which I thought was really cool. How they play, how they played that out and how they show. Because if you notice that when he's in the water. At first, the bullet holes are there, but then as he's moving deeper and deeper and ascending, the bullet holes are gone, and that's because he's transitioning into what he goes to.
Absolutely,
because he's dead. Because he's dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought that detail was pretty cool too. That I noticed when I was watching.
Yeah. But yeah, just him waking up in the hospital, and then there's Layla, and she's not Layla anymore, right? And you're just like, what the fuck is going on now? I mean, you kind of get what it's going for, but
you noticed the band-aid she was wearing on her pinky.
I didn't.
I had the scarlet scarab on it.
Oh, really?
Hey! I caught this myself. FYI, and then I saw,
okay.
And then I saw that he pointed this out.
It's just the way you say it. I caught this myself. This is
I actually caught it myself, and then when I saw Eric Voss cut it too, I was like shit, because in the comics she plays her alter ego or whatever is the Scarlet Scarab. Is one of the characters, like one of her, I guess, superhero It's like her superhero, the one that she plays in the comics, is the Scarlet Scarab. So I thought that was a pretty cool detail that they put in there on her pinky finger with the Band-Aid when she was attending Mark in the asylum.
Definitely super cool. And
Yeah.
that's a cool little nugget there for sure. But it just kind of ends and you're like, what the hell? I mean, you kind of see what it's
Yeah.
going for. It's kind of trying to go for that Shutter Island type thing. If you guys have seen that brilliant Martin Scorsese
And then you
movie.
see, and then you see a bunch of the people that Mark, used to, like, you see the lady that he worked for at the museum.
Yeah.
Sitting with, hugging one of those plush scarabs that was in the museum when they were, tagging the stuff up.
Right.
Then you had the guy who's painted in gold, who always had the hat on the floor. He was the one calling out the bingo numbers. Just all those people that were in his life.
Yeah.
Popping up here in this asylum, I thought was really cool as well.
Yeah, very, very cool little touch and detail. Absolutely. And I really enjoyed that for sure. Dave, just sticking with episode 4 right now, very briefly, I guess, but you can also dive into spoilers. What'd you think of it, man? I mean, what was your thoughts on the 4th episode?
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
As you brought up, I mean, you pretty much encapsulated everything I was going to say. The Indiana Jones
It's so in the show. Like
start to this
insane.
episode
Yeah.
is so nice. The action of it was really nice. The lead up, just the kind of nonstop developments at that point, and just the push of the pace was like, oh shit, this is really happening. And then you absolutely end on the note of what the fuck is going on right now.
Yeah.
Which diving into the next episode, I'm not going to jump into any.
Though.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say for you guys is I'm going to let you talk a lot more on episode 5 because other than the obvious stuff,
The big stuff
I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm mentally insane and I'm living in the asylum with them, bro. I don't know.
I think they're fucking with me.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like,
the CIA is experimenting on us.
This 4th episode was honestly like one of my favorites. I actually like really enjoyed myself with this episode. I like you said, the Indiana Jones aspect and the connection that Layla and Steven grew. I thought was really cool. Again, Ethan Hawke with his Arthur Harrow when he was talking to Layla, I thought that was cool too. Mentioning stuff that her father used to call her.
Yeah.
And all that I thought was the fact that he was trying to turn her against Mark and Steven. I thought that was pretty cool. That again, that like twisted mindset that Arthur Harrow has, that he just wants them to just bug out and just get the fuck out of his way.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Absolutely. So, and then we ended episode 4 though with the hippo, which then I was like, that was goofy. That was a little bit more the goofy. I don't want.
The goddess of childbirth and protection.
Yeah. That was a little bit more the goofy I'm not on board with. And it's still not now, but we'll talk about it.
I will say the hippo did a great job of, for me at least. I wasn't a big fan of the hippo in the 5 necessarily.
Yeah, that's where I
started.
But
at the end of 4, the shock factor of the
sure.
hippo made me die laughing, and I mean I think that was what they were trying to get at with episode 4, and
sure,
like, it's gonna look that way. But with the shock factor of episode 4 where it drops in, I was like, what the fuck did they just do? What is
I guess by the end of episode 4, like I thought it was goofy, but I was also kind of in the mindset of, well, we'll see where that goes. Then now that I've seen where it goes, I'm not necessarily on board, but we'll talk about that. Yeah. Anyway, Jose, go ahead.
No, like the reactions when they, they just see the door open and they see this live hippo walking.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Was it Steven's reaction, I think?
Mark and Steven, because they were dual at that point. Because at that point,
because like it was the one who the one who was touching the towels and like really freaking out. That one was to me that was.
I think that was Steven. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. His reaction was so funny, but it made me laugh so hard. And then the fact the hippo just like flutters its ears and then just like waves.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely odd, but I was still kind of in the mindset of, we'll see where it goes. Episode 5. Let's talk about this.
All right, let me just start by saying that I overall did not enjoy it as much as episode 4. There was bits and pieces that I enjoyed from this episode, yes, but there was just other parts that I feel like I don't know, kind of was slow for me.
I definitely personally enjoyed this more than 4. I would say that. Now, there's one big takeaway from this episode that we could take away. And that takeaway is, what the fuck? And
bro, this whole
bit of that.
It was a big what the fuck.
Yeah.
all in all caps, WTF? Like, what the fuck was this episode?
And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but we'll see. You know, it's really gonna be dependent on this finale, and I guess if I can get my negatives out of the way, just to get them out of the way, if I could say this now, the thing that I fear about this episode 5, my fear is that they're doing too much, because they seem to have this problem with the Marvel shows where they do too much and they come down to the finale and they can't really stick the landing as much, because it's like just they have such a short amount of time to stick it. You know, you get that feeling sometimes with the Marvel shows, I feel like. So I have a fear of that here, but I think that the show's been so well executed, I'm going to hold confidence and faith. And so we'll see, but yeah,
I guess you know, parts of the conversations between Arthur Harrow and Mark, I just found redundant, not needed.
Really, see, I disagree. I think the redundantness of it is what makes it work. See, for me, that is part of what makes you feel like you're going insane with Mark and Steven even. That rhymed. I didn't mean it to.
Explain that for me, because from my perspective, I don't understand if it's just his vision of Arthur, or is it Arthur actually fucking with him and interfering, or Ahmed interfering? I don't understand.
Well, I think that Dave,
very specific aspect.
I think, Dave, this is where people are going to be very divided, because I think there's going to be one of two scenarios in the finale that we're going to find out, and we know this is a limited series now, confirmed, official, that it's going to be a one-off season. So one of two things are going to happen, and so. One thing that can happen is that everything that we've seen leading up to this is actually real, and Arthur's just fucking with him, like you were saying. That's one scenario, and this is part of Arthur just kind of messing with him, that everything else is real. Or this is actually just a nutcase that exists in the MCU who thinks he's Moon Knight, or a superhero per se. That's scenario number 2. So one of those two scenarios, this is my fear for the finale too. I think it's going to be incredibly divisive, because you got half the audience who's going to want one of those scenarios, another half that wants another. And I think either way, somebody's going to be disappointed. I'm going to try to keep an open mind, and I'm going to leave it to execution of whatever decision the show makes.
There's probably people out there who have like a third or fourth theory of what they think is going to happen, and they're going to be expecting that.
Exactly. I just think it's going to be divisive all around.
There's people that are theorizing that King the Conqueror is going to be in this finale.
Yeah.
I don't see. I mean, there has been Easter eggs of King the Conqueror.
Yeah.
For example, that kid that cut his own scarf at the back of his leather jean jacket had King the Conqueror's Egyptian pharaoh on the back. So with those Easter eggs, people are speculating that King the Conqueror is gonna be in the finale. But I mean, I think it'd be cool, but do I think it's gonna happen? No.
Well, I got a question for you guys, and that is that, given the show, I don't know how you guys feel about it currently. I wasn't a big fan of episode 5, kind of like Jose. I wasn't. I understand.
That's what,
maybe Jose is turned away. I will say I was turned away at times and felt like it was going slow because of they threw too many what the fucks at me at a certain point, to where the point I was like, okay, well, I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere in this episode here. And then of course you get a huge development.
Yes.
So that changed very quickly, because it's the biggest development of all. But
I'm the same with you. Like
my question to you guys is, the only scenario I'd be disappointed in is, would you guys be upset if this was just it for Moon Knight and the MCU? Because
no,
I mean, this is the best Marvel show we've had yet, and I would be pretty damn disappointed.
Well, I think that'd be one of
series after Oscar Isaac's performance.
For myself, I think I come at it. We will probably have a differing opinion, but I think I come at it from the same place that you do, because I definitely have a passion for the show, and I do love it. I think it is their best show. Obviously, I think it does include some of the best performances we've seen in the MCU. And to Jose's earlier point about the continuous conversations with Ethan Hawke, I love that, because it did give us a chance to see Ethan Hawke kind of give a dual performance too, which is it's a contrast quite a bit actually from what he's doing with Arthur Harrow, right? So when he's just being Mr. Doctor, I love that. So there's that to it that I just really loved. This is actually, despite the hippopotamus, this is one of my favorite episodes. It really is. It's top tier for me, and I love it because it is such a mind-bending episode. I love that. And obviously, when we get into the developments of Mark's backstory and we see that trauma and we see the insanity, I think that's part of what makes it so good as well. It's one of my positives.
Yeah, the fact that Stephen Grant was made up.
Hint wink for all of us that saw the episode.
What do you mean?
Mark's.
Yeah, Mark's background. Honestly, bro, that whole
Interesting the way you say that now on episode 5.
Well, all right. Look, the thing is, though, if this is it for Moon Knight, and okay, let's say I'm leaning toward. I'm not saying that this is going to be the best case scenario. Again, I have to leave it open to execution. It depends on the execution of it. I am leaning toward the scenario that this really is just a nutcase in the MCU, who we've been following, and is actually in this asylum. I'm leaning toward them doing that scenario. Not saying that's the one I want. It's going to come down to execution. It's the one I'm convinced of, though. That's what I'm saying, and that's a lot of it is due to the backstory that they developed for him, and all that. So
I guess. No, I was gonna say. I guess for me, if this is a one and done, for me, it would depend on how the finale ends.
Exactly.
Like, so if it ends in a way that will, leave all the fans in enjoyment and like excitement and happiness, then cool, it's a good finale. But if it's one that leaves people in like disgust and like disbelief and like, why did you end it this way? Then I mean, I'm gonna want another season. But if the finale ends in a way that I really enjoy and really like,
well,
I'll be good.
There's a couple ways to look at it, because if it ends in a way that's a little bit more open-ended, then I would be 100% confident that even though this is one season of Moon Knight, then they're going to follow up with the story somewhere else, even though it's one season of Moon Knight, kind of like WandaVision. So if it leaves open-ended, there's that. But if it ends great, I don't think people should be disappointed in the sense that it's one season, because I think that'd be part of what made it so special. Is the fact that it's just this one contained thing. That's my take on it.
I guess my take on it, where I come from, is I know out of the three of us, I'm definitely the TV series guy here. I've seen way too many TV series. Is that one of that really kills me about TV series, especially when they're in this much of an expanded, huge universe, huge money behind it, is that so many shows go through the two major sins of TV series, which is living too long and not living long enough. And I just hate for in such a big and long universe where, especially when I can help, the introduction of Deadpool and the X-Men and could play such a huge part when, they're shortening up on characters here every single day for them to throw out such potential in Oscar Isaac playing Moon Knight. I think that's just the disappointment that most people see. I would, of course, be to a certain extent content with a great ending to just this limited series, but if there's no open end to him being involved in other movies or projects, I think that would leave a huge hole in some people's stomachs, like myself, that really appreciate TV series. Universes.
I mean, this is something I would like to see. I don't think it will happen. It could, who knows? But I think it'd be cool to see Moon Knight in the next Deadpool movie. I think that could be cool.
With some of the cinematic shots we've had in the show, I mean, that's just I know I'm a bit of a fanboy here. I love Moon Knight. Like I said, it was one of my first action figure. It was my first action figure that my mom ever bought me. I begged for it, and she bought me a sweet Moon Knight action figure, and I've loved him ever since. But I see Mark's Moon Knight specifically coming to power in that one action sequence when he's fighting against all the horses and everything, and he turns into Moon Knight and starts kicking their asses. And I'm so disappointed that at the idea that I won't get to see him enter an arena of a fight where maybe the Avengers are down on their odds and you see Moon Knight drop into a battle. That's just something that goes through my head in such a huge, and I feel like huge universe that we're missing out on here now.
And I think we might still get Moon Knight and
I praise
MCU projects for sure. I mean,
I'd be totally fine with no more series, but seeing him involved, maybe get his own movie in the future, and being involved in Avengers in general, even if he's just like a Wanda in Doctor Strange, where he plays a huge part but isn't the main focus.
And that's what I think we'll see with Moon Knight, and especially in the Deadpool movie, because they did they were fighting duo partners, so I do think that we will see Moon Knight in the future project with Deadpool.
Maybe we throw Joaquin Phoenix in there and fuck
hey hey now
let's go.
Okay, you know what, no, one thing I was gonna say that I was sat like when I was finishing watching this episode, I was sat there and I was sat here at my desk thinking, And I was thinking back to I think it was episode 1 when Stephen Grant was talking to that little girl about the field of reeds and stuff. Remember the girl? She was like, "And did it suck for you getting rejected in the field of reeds?" If you remember, he actually did get rejected in the field of reeds because he was turned into sand, frozen sand. So like I thought that connection was pretty cool. The fact that she projected, or she knew that he did get rejected in the field of reeds, Stephen Grant. I thought that was pretty mind blowing. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyone have any projections on the third alter ego, by the way?
I just don't think it's coming anymore.
Dead.
I just don't think we have time.
I think I mean,
you don't think it's coming at all?
No.
It could look. He might make an appearance in the finale.
Whoa, that'd be.
I think he could make an appearance in the third one. I don't know how they could, because we find out that Stephen Grant is just something that Mark Spector made up in his, as an alter ego.
I don't see with Dom's theory of them potentially ending this as just a guy that's actually in Moon Knight. I just don't see how a third alter ego that brutally murdered a bunch of people out of nowhere is just going to be dusted over. You know what I mean? That's if anything, that's starting to give me hope right here that there's no way if we are running short on time and.
I think we could get him.
We haven't even discovered him yet. I doubt they're just going to brush over that, especially with I think it was episode 4. They go by his room, and obviously he's the one in the third tomb, if you will, the third, coffin. Really shaking. So I think, if anything, I'm starting to feel a little bit better about myself. I appreciate myself remembering this because if we are running short on time, I don't think they'll dust over that. I think we'll get some more Moonlight. I think we'll in the finale.
I think we might see that third alter ego in the finale. I think that could be pretty cool to see that. Yeah,
I don't think so because one thing, a couple different things. So number one, we did get clarification on the mother dead. So we know that for a fact.
Gosh, that whole when Stephen Grant found that out, that made me cry, bro. That shit made me cry.
Fuck. Absolutely, yeah. It was so dramatic,
bro. Oh my god,
yo,
honestly,
hold on,
bro.
What if the third alter ego killed his own brother?
Maybe.
How fucked up would that be?
Maybe,
bro. I am getting mind fucked right now to a level that I just cannot comprehend.
Maybe it's possible.
A lot of things going through my head, Jose. Don't talk to me.
But
I was gonna say Oscar Isaac's performance in that specific scene when he finds that his mother's actually dead was oh my gosh, it was emotional, man.
Yeah, that's Oscar Isaac's acting in the hallway where he's screaming and pleading with Steven. Right. You can't make me go in there.
Exactly.
Phenomenal. That's again part of the reason I'd be so sad to see this go away because that was just top tier Oscar Isaac.
But let me go back to all that though with the mother. And
mother, father, brother.
And then him freaking out. That's what I think they're trying to say is that Mark is actually the nut here. Like he's just actually nuts. There's no third alter ego. When you see Mark freaking out the way he does, that's a fucking insane man, 100%. And I think that is the point. That is the point they're trying to make.
Then how do you explain the fact that neither of them killed that one dude? They're like
because that wasn't even real at all.
What,
that was just no. None of that is real in my mind. That stuff never happened. I think that there's probably fragments that he's taking from certain areas of his past. The first 3 episodes in part of 4. I don't think any of it's real.
You're saying. So one thing I will say that I don't want to say because it supports Dom's idea, which I pray to God is not happening. Is that my girlfriend, who is very keen to detail, noticed that inside of Arthur's office, he sees things like the painting of the village is where he was in that one episode. And so that may support Tom's theory that he's in this mental asylum going crazy and just building adventures around the room. But
that's what I think.
I'm not gonna lie at this point, because I've seen it coming from so far. I feel like that'd be almost disappointing in execution if it just fell to that.
That's my point. To some people, that's going to be. I wouldn't mind that if it's executed well. To some people, that's just going to be completely disappointing.
Hints, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the point of Shutter Island, like you references.
Exactly. I think they're going a very Shutter Island route. Yeah.
And that's why Shutter. Well, yeah, I'm just saying it where people might reasonably be pissed in execution. Though here is that like we're theorizing this in episode 5, and I mean people have had this theory since like episode 3, essentially, or 4. So, that's in execution. It definitely didn't pull a Shutter Island because we're talking about it. A Shutter Island,
sure, but
you're slammed with it. But
sure, but it's a different thing altogether anyway. But I think the point. I mean, well, first of all, let me ask you this: like, where are you guys both at on this? Is the asylum real or isn't it? I'm not saying what you want. I'm saying what the show's convinced you of. At this point, where are you guys at? Is the asylum real or isn't it? I'm gonna say I'm convinced. I'm not saying this is my want. This is just what I'm convinced of. The asylum is 100% real. Mark is in it. He's 100% crazy. None of this shit happened. Where are you guys leaning?
You can go ahead, Dave.
I think there's a good possibility of that. I think there's an equally as good possibility as the fact that he's not in a mental asylum, and that what's happening to him right now is Amit and Arthur manipulating him and trying to stop him. I mean, Amit is sealed, but to what extent is he powerless? I mean, Amit can release a certain amount of power, obviously, even entombed to Arthur to help him out and still be his avatar almost to an extent. So how do I know that this isn't just Arthur? I mean, in the episode 5, the way that he's almost like pulled out of the situations that he's in. One of the things I noticed is that the situations he's pulled out of is moments of which Arthur probably wouldn't want him to keep proceeding, because that could, lead to his success. That could lead to Mark's success in terms of making it out of the underworld and getting out. And maybe that's Arthur just keeping the actual Mark drowned, and that this is all real, and he's just keeping him drowned and keeping him down so that he can't interfere with things.
Yeah.
Now it's giving him a ridiculous amount of power, obviously, because I mean, we've seen him just absolutely toast people with Amit's power just from that cane already. So how strong is Amit?
Right.
Yeah, you see, I'm leaning more towards what Dave just said. I do think that Arthur Harrow, from episode 4, I honestly did think that Arthur Harrow was making this all, a play just to keep Mark, make him think that he's mentally insane and that he's made all this shit up, just so that he can keep him distracted, so that he can't escape and he can't get Khonshu out of his tomb and become his avatar again and stop Amit and Harrow.
And well, sorry to interrupt, but the one thing I just remembered is not only that, but it would make sense that Arthur would want to ensure that Mark discovers Steven, and that Steven discovers that he's not real within his own head, because he probably knows that that's what's going to help him get to the field of reeds. Mm-hmm. And once he's in the field of reeds, it's probably a lot harder to get back to the real world. So I'm just assuming that in logic, I'm kind of 30-30-40. I think 30% chance of he's just not 30% chance of what I just said, and 40% chance that just both of us are absolutely fucking wrong, and who knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, honestly.
But I could totally just see again from Arthur's manipulation how Amit would be able to summon a certain power, because again, it doesn't make sense that Amit would just have the power to appoint Arthur and show him the way to do all this if totally encapsulated, unless Amit's got some powers that we don't know about from beyond. I mean, he's been tucked away for a long time. So how do we know that he's not having Arthur, manipulate Mark and see to it that he goes to the afterlife and hopefully enjoys it so much that he can't come back, or just sabotage the mission at all costs, which is why Arthur was probably really happy when Steven got there. I was like, you need to let Mark open up to you, because he knows, like, once he does that, I mean the balance will even one way or the, and we're taken care of here, because obviously when he read the scales before, it was confused. He didn't come to a conclusion. It was
the same when their hearts were placed on the balance with the feather. It was just going up and down, just like with his cane. And like you were saying, Amit's been entombed in the inside of Alexander the Great for like basically this entire show, and yet Arthur Harrow still has powers from Amit. So who knows what kind of powers Amit actually has? Like, from what I can gather, it seems like Amit has powers even outside of being entombed this whole time.
And Amit's, more tombed away from what they said. Amit's more tombed away than even Khonshu is, which gives me some faith in the fact that maybe Khonshu is actually able to come out here without even being broken free and pull something out of his sleeve.
Amit was put in a tomb and then shoved down Alexander the Great's throat into his
to an unknown location to any of the gods, even to avoid any temptation.
Exactly. So I think I do think that Amit has powers beyond the tomb, obviously, and it makes me think that maybe even Khonshu might have. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, look, I'm not taking anything off the table. I just don't think a lot of the stuff is real. I think that, yeah, I think we're looking at an absolute nutcase here, and I think that that's what's going on. Just a lot of it, again, just based on a lot of the backstory that we got filled in, it would make the most sense to me. But look,
yeah,
of
you're not
course
gonna
it would.
watch Power Rangers, and he's in that case. Fuck
all
off.
right, all right, look, all right, guys, we got to wrap it up. So, thank you guys for joining. This is gonna be well, I don't know, what is this, our 25th episode of Movie Morning? So I want to thank everybody for joining very, very much. So I decided, unfortunately, probably no Imperial Order this week. I just did not have time to do any reading on a whole lot of things.
That's fine.
And yeah. So we'll but I do want to let the audience know we are going to have awesome coverage for Celebration this year. We're going to be making sure that we are taking part in that. So I can't wait for that. So Star Wars Celebration in May, we're going to have great coverage, but expect a good Imperial Order this week. There are a couple stories that drop that are actually very interesting, or next week, I'm sorry, because there are a couple stories that drop that are very interesting. And next week we also have Doctor Strange. So there's that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure that will bring you some sort of a spoiler review for that. So can't wait, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining again. I've been Dom Martino. You can find me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_ and on Instagram, Dom_Martino_ official. Follow the Anorex pages at Anorex official across both platforms, Twitter and Instagram. And Dave, where can people find you on the Elon Musk page and Instagram? So.
I'm going back to Elon Musk page now that he's over here. I'll be allowed back finally. I'll get my Twitter sorted out. It'll be at BKingDavid when I get it. In the meantime, guys, I just proposed to my girlfriend of 5 years. She said yes. I can't believe it. If you want to see the amazing long thought out proposal, I totally caught her off guard at our favorite theme park in front of one of our favorite rides, Velocicoaster. There was a lot of tears. There's a great video TikTok that my good friend Nick Mealy put together. Shout out to iPanic Escape Rooms of Florida and Chicago. Come check us out. But if you guys want to go see that proposal, it is on my Instagram, on my Facebook, getting up there like 1,000 likes on the Facebooks and stuff. So check it out. Follow me on Facebook, David White Mamba Tresh, and on Instagram it is BKingDavid as usual, and you'll catch me and my good friend Jose Espinel on stereo talking about a lot of Game of Thrones, guys, and looking forward to House of the Dragon here, putting some theories together.
Absolutely. And definitely go check out Dave's page, and hopefully he can get us up to 1,000 likes at some point. But Jose, before we go, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on all socials at Type 1 Latino, and of course on stereo with my good friend Dave. And I'd like to just give a final shout out to Fit Aid for the sponsorship.
All right, thank you guys so much. Once again, I've been Don Martino. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications. I did want to take a chance to tell you guys, please head over to Spotify. If you're on the YouTube channel, please do that. And if you're on Spotify already, head over to the YouTube channel and do all the things I asked to do, especially the comment section. It's a lot of fun. I'm so glad you guys have been interacting. It really shows us that we're talking to somebody out there. So it's nice to know, honestly, when you guys put your input in the comment section. Don't be afraid to share your opinions. It does really help us and lets us know we are speaking with somebody, and it's nice that we're reaching anybody at all. So thank you guys so much. I've been Don Martino. That's been Jose Espinel. That's been David Tresh, and we'll see you guys later.
See you.